As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff, Booner, and Lukas. I don't know, Lukas
might be sleeping again. He might be sleeping again. I can hear the music again, by the way. But Lukas might be sleeping.
Didn't this happen last Friday?
Right, it's becoming a Friday thing. He sleeps on Fridays. Unless, I'll tell you what, this is my thought process. Last Friday, he told us he had jiu-jitsu, and he said he had to talk to his coach. I don't know if he went to jiu-jitsu last Friday, so maybe this Friday he went to jiu-jitsu and is talking to his coach, so he's going to be a little late. That's how I put it together. But maybe the man's sleeping again. I don't know.
So the rules are I'm going to let the chat dictate the they're going to handle the accountability side of it.
That's a big wow. That's because that could be anything. And
the
I don't.
Chat, you guys can come up with the accountability.
Oh,
or at
no.
least you can roast Klotz. I'll let you guys handle.
Oh no, because they could come up with something crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm not. It's all on the chat. Like if they want to be nice to him, they can be nice to him. But yeah, I'm just we'll probably join at some point today.
Back-to-back Fridays is a tough look. Back-to-back Fridays is a tough look. We did decide. Coach Walk said call. We did decide. Hey, let's not call guys on air. I don't know. If that's...
Just in case the first thing that comes out of his mouth may take us off YouTube. But yeah.
Klotz.
Yeah,
Klotz is a wild card. I'll just throw that out there. Klotz is a wild card.
Yeah, he is.
He's from Toledo. Let's not forget. We don't know what's in the water over there.
Oh, geez, man. Yeah. Malik says, I am being nice. The Javon Kinlaw slander will be back in full force.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can handle that. We have a show to do. We got.
You just let us know. You guys, at the end of the show, let us know.
I got faith he'll join. And then when he does, the chat you can spam
they can
whatever
handle it.
Spam at him. But we got a show to do today, man. We had Cade come out before the show. Cade was announced he made an All-NBA team.
There we go.
Get into that. We'll see who else made the NBA All-NBA team, and because I don't know. I'm happy he made an All-NBA team, but then when you actually look at the guys that made the teams beside him,
yeah.
Let me get the graphic, by the way. You should be following us on social media because we post these graphics whenever news happens in Detroit sports. So you should already be following it. But let me throw this up right here. All right, here you go. Cade, All-NBA team. Let me take this off so you guys can read it. All-NBA third team for Cade Cunningham. So we knew he'd make an All-NBA team. I don't think no one should be surprised by that. The only thing, and I'm going to read off. So I want your thoughts on this, Boone, and then we'll get to the other players. But I think this is huge. First Piston to make an All-NBA team in quite a long time. I'll just say that. So this is special. And I think one of the younger players to make it in a very long time. I mean, so he's proving to everyone, if you're making an All-NBA team, you're on a short list of NBA stars, superstars that are that caliber of player. You have guys making All-NBA teams that are true superstars. All-NBA third team, I think he should have been All-NBA second team. But regardless, this just kind of confirms to the rest of the NBA that, like, hey, Cade's here. He's here to stay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I tweeted it out too. It just I'm not one of those guys, and I do it, but and we know, like, hey, there's a lot more than just stats that go into these teams. It's not, hey, who has the best stats. It's, hey, who's, it's stats, it's wins, everything involved. And I had put out the tweets. I do believe, Jeff, like, I'll preface it by all of it like this at the start. All NBA third team is an honor on its own too. Like, just making an all NBA team, in my opinion, like, that is unbelievable. So congrats to Cade on that. Especially coming out of here in Detroit, like 14 wins last year, third team all NBA this year, now kind of turning this thing around. And I think that's a massive deal for him, the franchise, the city, and everything that they've built this year. But off of that, I still think it was kind of a highway robbery at the end of the day. Like, Jalen Brunson and Steph Curry both are second team all NBA. Cade Cunningham, I put it out on my Twitter, had better stat lines than both of them. And again, stats isn't everything, but then you take into account everything that goes with it. Cade took a team that was a 14-win team to a 44-win team. You know what I mean? Like that to me, that holds weight. Like that should tell you something. And especially with a team like Steph Curry, who has a guy like Jimmy Butler, or Jalen Brunson, who has a Karl Anthony Towns, to your point, Jeff, your star, OG Anunoby, who has Mikal Bridges, who has guys who have been all-stars, who have been potentially all-NBA players, and Cade sitting in Detroit by himself. And I'm not saying the guys in Detroit are bad. I love all the guys on this team. But Cade is kind of that. He is the piece, right? Like every night, defense is playing against him. On other teams, they have the Jimmy Butlers, the Cats that they have to plan for. And for Cade to go out there this year to take a 14-win team to a 44-win team and to have better stats, not just like by a little, but like significant more assists than both of them, significant more rebounds than both of them, and more points per game than both of them. I think you have to sit back and be like, how is this guy not second team? Like if you want to take three guards and be like, all right, who are the guys that should be second team? Number one out of Steph Curry and Jalen Brunson should be Cade Cunningham. And that shouldn't be a question, in my opinion. And then you can have a conversation, the next guard that's on the All-NBA second team. Who is that, Steph or Jalen? I would go Jalen, as we talked about before the show, and then I'll throw Steph on third. But I think it is ridiculous that he's second. Again, third is amazing. It's still an honor on its own, but a little bit of a robbery, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And if you're making All-NBA third team, usually you have your MVP candidates, All-NBA first team. And then the second team are like the fringe guys that were very, very good players. I think that's where Cade belongs. All NBA third team is typically guys that, are very good players, but they're not quite, obviously not second team. And you'll see the names because I'll show you. And Cade does not deserve to be. He deserves to be second team. And you look at who's around him. He's the only player on the All NBA third team that got first team votes.
Like and he got more first team votes than Jalen Brunson and Steph Curry.
So when you look at it, you look at the first team here. Let me show you this. So first team, obviously, all those guys got votes. Giannis, Shea, Nikola, Jason, Donovan. Like, okay, Donovan actually got third team votes, which is kind of crazy. But so that's first team. Second team, Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Brunson. But then you get to the third team. Like, look at this. Look how close it was, though. I mean, you have Karl Anthony Towns, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Williams, James Harden. Like, and Cade was on this list. Like, Tyrese is the other guy that you'd say, like, he's the best player on our team that's up in the conference finals. But Cade is the only player that had the stats, had the impact, didn't have great players around him, and he led a team to the playoffs and a significant jump from last year. Yeah. He had All NBA first team votes. He had the most. I mean, he had 43 third team votes. And 6 All-NBA first-team votes. He had more first-team votes than Brunson, Mobley, and Steph. So I get it's just how the votes average out, but you can't tell me that the season that Steph had this year, like he's still Steph, but it's a lot of the awards. I mean, you talked about this before the show. The NBA, out of all the leagues, like LeBron, look how many first-team votes LeBron got. Like, LeBron should not be getting first team votes, man. Like, and I'm the biggest LeBron defender. Like, there's no way LeBron should have the 17 first team votes. No. That's crazy. Like, he should be third team, LeBron, right now. Same with Steph. Like, Steph should be third team. Cade should be second team.
Look at Karl Anthony Towns, Jeff.
I don't have a problem with.
But even with Jalen, he's playing with Karl Anthony Towns. So it's like, if you want to take record into account, if that's the reason they said, hey, Jalen's better, he's on a better team, he's playing with the third team All-NBA player. Like, right. Cade is doing this on his own. I feel like that puts, that gives a little bit more. And especially, like, I think that's a big argument that people have. It's like, hey, you have to be on a team that wins to do it. Okay, that's fine. Like, let's be consistent. Donovan Mitchell, first team, because he has what? They were the best team in the East, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Why were they the best team in the East? Because he has a second team NBA player and Evan Mobley on his team. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, let's hold accountability here. Like, if Cade's going to do it by himself, if if Jalen Brunson put the numbers up he did without any other All-Stars or any other All-NBA players, they would say Jalen Brunson's first team. They'd be like, oh my gosh, look what he did. He's first team. This is incredible, him doing that. Why is Cade not in that conversation is my thought. And the fact that he had 6 people vote for him for first team All-NBA.
Those people are ball knowers.
They are. And those people who voted for Jalen Brunson second team and Steph Curry second team over Cade Cunningham, they need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable. I don't know if we're able to see who voted for who. We should do a public shaming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think that's fair.
I think it's a mix for all. Let me see who votes for. I think it's a mix between. I think it's so all NBA's voted on between a panel of 100 global sports writers and broadcasters. So I would bet you that Stephen A has a vote.
Yeah, I bet you Stephen A voted for Cade Cunningham.
It's not even like players. I'm not players. I'm sorry, like coaches.
It's just media. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's just media. It's a media award. So
same thing in the NFL.
Hence why LeBron got all the first team votes, and LeBron had a good year. It's just like he had 24, 7, and 8. It's like it's a good year. It's just. I mean, at some point, man, I mean, this league, they always talk about who's going to carry the league when these guys are gone. But you don't even give these guys a chance. Like, you don't even give these guys the accolades when they actually do play well because you don't look at the name. It's like, Cade, you have a star, a young superstar right in front of you, and the guy can't even get second team when he played like a second team. And then they're like, well, who's going to carry the league? It's like you guys keep glazing the players that are already here. You know what I mean? You got to give these other guys a chance at least. I mean, my gosh.
And it's not even like, hey, we want to just push guys. No, he deserved it. It's what I mean? He deserves to get second team All NBA. It's not that he's just all of a sudden, let's give it to him because we want him to be the face of the league. Statistics show who deserve it. And he deserves it.
I mean, look at this. I'm going to show the tweet we put out. This is a great tweet of what he did this year. You tell me if this is second team. You tell me. All right. Playoff team, won 14 games the year prior, jumped to 40-plus wins. Look at this. 26.1 points per game, 7th in the NBA. 6.1 rebounds, first among point guards. 9.1 assists, 4th in the NBA. 9 triple-doubles, 5th in the NBA. Really? Really? He's 5th in triple-doubles. He almost averaged 26 and 10. 26 and 10. He actually averaged 26, 6, and 9. He averaged 26, 6, and 9. I mean, my gosh.
It's nuts, dude. The 9 triple-doubles, 50. He's top 5 in almost all these categories, top 10 in every category.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Bottom line, it is based on regular season play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, if you want to be like, hey, Jalen Brunson beat him in the playoffs, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
You
matter.
vote for the regular season. None of that matters.
Hey, shout out Roman, by the way. Yeah,
hey, Roman, let's go, man.
Yeah, that's just how it is, man. You know what? We're used to it at this point.
I am pumped, though. I'll say this. I am pumped that he did get an All-NBA team. At least he didn't get snubbed from it because we have seen in Detroit teams and players just get snubbed from every single award, it feels like. And the fact, and I don't know if I always thought he was going to get on an All-NBA team, but you would be lying if you said there wasn't a side of any of you that were like, oh, imagine what if he didn't?
Here's the thing with this too. Like Shifcott, not everybody's high on Cade. It's not even about if you vote on an award and you only vote for players you're high on, you're doing it wrong. You should have your vote taken away. It's an unbiased vote. When you're voting all NBA teams, you're not voting for players you're high on. You're voting for players that had the best season. That is literally how you vote. So I don't give a shit if they're not high on Cade. He still deserves a vote. Like I don't even like Jalen. I'm not a big Joe Brunson fan. He absolutely deserves second team All NBA. So like even if it is they're not and not everyone's high on him, it doesn't even matter. You're voting on performance. In performance, based on performance, he's All NBA second team, borderline first team. That's what doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't give a shit if someone's like, hey, Jeff, like, I'm not really that high on Cade. Cool. Do you agree that he should have been second team All-NBA? No, because I'm not high on him. Well, you're an idiot. It's not about being high on him. You know what I mean? It's not. It's just about the season he had. That is it. You know, the season he had was worthy of it. And you can ask someone in frickin' Idaho that knows basketball. I don't give a shit if it's from Detroit or not. They should understand. They should look at that and be like, well, it's top 7 in every category, top 6. I mean, yeah, probably should be up there. All right, I'm done ranting.
I mean, if you just watched the games and if you watched, like, yes, they were all good. It's not. Come on now.
Yeah. Like, at least I'm not a big Brunson fan. He deserves second team, man. You know what I mean? I can be unbiased. I don't have to, not just because I don't love a player doesn't mean I can admit the guy balled out this season. You know, Knicks fans know they know what it is. All right, let's get to this clip, by the way. Ian Rappaport went on McAfee, talked about.
Hey, real quick, can I show this? Is Caleb still in the chat? Do we know?
Yes, he is. I think.
Can I show my I showed you before the show my new prized possession?
What?
For my desk here at the office.
Oh my gosh.
How beautiful is this? Look.
Where'd you get that?
Is Tarek Skubal the best pitcher in the baseball? Yep. Are the Tigers the best team in baseball? Yep.
Where'd you what?
Shout out my cousin. My cousin got it for me from someone that he knew that had an extra one. Came home one day, said, "Here you go." So thank you, brother.
That is
how sick is that? How sick is it? These things are going for hundreds. Putting it right over here, right next to my Lions helmet.
I want to see. Let me see what Caleb's doing. He might be busy, actually. He might be indulgent.
I don't know. I was just on the phone with him probably 30 minutes ago. I called him real quick for something for the Cade stuff. But he was yelling. He was screaming.
I want to get him on. I want to get him on to talk Cade real quick.
Yeah, he was screaming. He was yelling.
Oh, was he?
Well, he was really just yelling. He said, "That's what we do." Yeah, brother.
Oh, what a
so funny, dude. He's the best.
Yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see if we can get. Let's see what Caleb's.
I want to hear his Cade rant. I know he has something in store. I don't want to take away I don't know if he's doing the show in the morning, but I would love to hear a nice little Caleb rant.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I would like to get Caleb's thoughts on this. We'll see. If he's busy, it's all good.
He's like sprinting. He heard it and is like sprinting home right now.
Yeah, he's like, no, this is bullshit. Because he understands it. He gets on this.
Yeah, I mean, if you know hoops, you know. That's why I really and I hate to be that guy, but I would love to see who voted for who. Like, who didn't vote for Cade?
Like
why are there 6 first place votes for Cade and those other 2 guards got 2 and he gets second? I know how the voting works with the points and stuff, but it's just if there's that many guys, he had more first place votes than those guys did combined. So if there are people who think he is first all NBA talent, why is he landing on the 3rd team? That makes no sense. That means just some people that vote don't actually watch all the games, that's why it's always rigged.
Yeah, I would like to see that, but that comes with the accountability. But like awards in general or voting in general, I like to see who voted for who across all sports. I like knowing that shit. Like if you're voting on something, you should be able to put your name to it. Just my opinion.
Like Kendrick Perkins, he just tweets it out. He just
does
he just listen. Yeah, he just tweets it. He probably tweeted it out tonight. I'm gonna go see
what do you have paid.
I don't know if he tweeted out tonight, but when he does his when he submits his ballots, he tweets it out. He just tells the world what he did. It's so funny. I'll go back here.
Yeah,
it's
I want to see what Kendrick. I feel like Kendrick would vote Cade like second team.
It's probably pretty far back because I don't know when they have to vote for it. It's definitely before the playoffs.
Oh, then never mind. If you can't,
I'm scrolling now. I'm in May 13th already. I'm already committed.
I think Caleb is joining the show. So
is he?
Yeah, we're gonna get Caleb on.
I'm gonna try and get this Kendrick thing too.
You can ask him about Vierling too. Because
yeah, how sick is that, Matt Vierling? Yeah. He's not playing tonight, but he's available to play, which is big news.
Yeah, it is.
And I have another question for Caleb about the baseball because AJ Hinch came out and said something today that was a little interesting. I don't know if you saw it, but he was like the Riley Green and Zach McKinstry. He was just like, hey, I know it's a long season, but he's like, yeah, we're resting them tonight. We're not playing them because of guys are going through some stuff physically. That's just so, especially in this series. Like, you're playing the Guardians, which like could significantly impact your season with tiebreakers and things down the line. And you're sitting there going, like, these are wins that you need, right? Like, they're second in your division right now. I'm still scrolling here looking. I'm still in the playoffs. This man tweets a lot. Good for him, man.
Big perk, man. Let's see. Doughboy Steve says, sorry, Cade doesn't make me go, ooh, I have to watch the Pistons. Steve.
Oh, here it is.
Steve, if Cade doesn't make you go, ooh, I have to watch the Pistons, I don't know what does.
All right. Kendrick Perkins voting. He only put out his first All-NBA team. He didn't put any other teams out. He did Clutch Player of the Year, Anthony Edwards. Sixth Man of the Year, Peyton Pritchard. Defensive Player of the Year, Lou Dort. Good for him putting Lou Dort, man. Most Improved, Zubac. Coach of the Year, Udoka, your guy, Jeff. MVP, SGA. All-NBA first team. Are you ready for this, Jeff Iafrate?
Yep.
SGA, number 1 he put. Number 2, Jokic. Number 3, Giannis. Number 4, Jason Tatum. And number 5, Kendrick Perkins throws Cade Cunningham, first team All-NBA. Kendrick knows. Yep, he knows ball. He's one of the 6. Kendrick Perkins is one of the 6.
Hey, Caleb, we would safe to say Kendrick Perkins knows ball. He voted Cade to be first team.
Well, after hearing that, yeah, you have to say he knows ball. I mean, it's the only right answer. And look, I'm going to start by saying this. I'm happy for Cade, and this is huge for the Detroit Pistons. I mean, like you said it, this is the first All-NBA player the Pistons have had in what feels like 1 billion years.
Yeah.
However, you want to grow the game? You want more eyeballs on the game? Let it grow. Cade Cunningham should have been second team All-NBA over Steph Curry. Yeah, there's just no debate about it.
Yeah,
there's no debate about it. You look at the numbers, you look at the impact they even had for their team. It's crazy to me. You showed the numbers, you showed the tweet. Cade's top 5 in everything when it comes to point guards. Top 5 in everything. Top triple doubles, points, assists, rebounds. He brought this team from 14 wins to 44. What does that say about a player? And you're telling me that's third team All-NBA? Again, look, I'm happy for my guy, Cade. I'm happy for my guy, Cade.
Yeah.
But I don't know, boys. Feels weird. To me.
Hey, we didn't interrupt you from anything too important, did we?
Well, no, because the Tigers decided to be the worst team in baseball these past 2 days, so I'm really not missing much, man.
Can I ask you about the AJ Hinch stuff? Because I was a little worried about that today. I don't think that was – and listen, I don't think you can, get mad about AJ Hinch. He's done such a good job the last, 12 months. Why are we resting guys when we're in a battle? You're playing the Guardians. And tell me if I'm wrong, Caleb. It's a divisional team. That could come back and bite you in the butt in October or September. Am I wrong?
No, these are definitely series you want to go out and win. But, I mean, I'm sure you're referring to Riley Green. AJ Hinch came out and said it. He said Riley.
And Zach McKinstry.
Yeah, he said, well, for Riley, he said Riley feels like he's always getting close to an injury. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's essentially what he said, which I will say, I love Riley Green, but that is concerning for a manager to say that when you have for a 24-year-old. It is a little bit concerning.
That's weird.
And he's one of the hottest players in baseball. So
he's playing at MVP level.
He is. So you would have loved to see him in the lineup tonight, Friday night at Comerica Park, wearing the City Connects. That's a game where Riley Green should play. But I don't know. He's not going to play all 162, but these are the games you'd like to see him play in a in a divisional game.
Divisional games, a team that's in second place behind you, it feels like that's at home. That feels like one of the more important series of the whole season. I would rather – this is just me. I would rather Riley Green play versus the the Guardians than the Dodgers.
Yeah, no,
I don't think that's that big of a.
And even you saw it the past couple nights. If you have to DH Riley Green, do that.
Yeah,
do something. That's why it's so important when Matt Vierling, Parker Meadows, these guys come back because it gives you more opportunity to.
Why didn't he take a break versus the Rockies versus Colorado? There's series where it's hey, he can hey, relax this series, all right? If you really feel like you're about to get a major injury, take a break in this series. Like versus the Rockies, like the worst, and in Colorado, the worst team in baseball. Go ahead, take a breather, brother.
Yeah, no, I agree. Both those guys should have been in the lineup today, but I don't know. You're losing 2-0 right now.
What was the quote? It was like he feels like he's on the edge of something. What was the exact thing?
I could get you the direct quote right now, but it was basically insinuating.
When I read that, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, dude, what? And I was shocked that he wasn't in the lineup. I was just him and McKinstry. I'm just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, this is baseball, guys. It's baseball. They're going to lose a series or two. I'm not saying it's over by any means right now in this series, but it's going to happen. You don't want it to happen in series like this against the Guardians, where you have a really good, chance to give yourself a big gap in first place. But boom, I think you're right. Like, he is being smart. It is a really long season. I mean, you get 2 off days in a month, but I want to see Riley Green in the lineup every day. I just do. He's the best hitter on this team. He's one of the best hitters in the American League right now. You got to have him in this lineup.
Can I ask? I saw the. I don't know where this report. I think it was a Bleacher Report. Speak just real quick about the Pistons. What do you think about Ty Jerome? What is
That's
going
a
on with
great
this Ty
question.
Jerome?
Well, I think if you're bringing in Ty Jerome, you're saying bye to Dennis Schroeder.
I thought the same thing,
So,
kid. First thought.
Are you paying Ty Jerome double the amount you would pay
Well,
Dennis Schroeder?
Could I make the argument? You might say bye to Dennis Schroeder and someone else.
I don't think. No way.
Ty Jerome's going to get. He might get 15, 20 mil.
Do you think so?
Yeah, he will. Mm-hmm.
Schroeder,
he's a great player, though. Too.
Schroeder won't cost.
If I'm being honest, though,
Schroeder's going to be cheap. I'd rather have Schroeder and Malik and all those guys just run it back. Like, I like Ty Jerome, but he played like trash. Was that the Pacers series?
Yeah, this series. Yeah, he averaged
like trash.
Yeah. He is a good player, though. Like,
no,
and I think
he's a good player, but he's going to cost you. He's going to cost you, though.
He's
not going to be cheap. It's his first. I think it's his first payday.
Of those, the positives of it is he's a younger player. Do you know what I mean? Like, all right, you're locking in. He's a part of your young core at this point, right? If you lock him in,
so
that's a positive. Yeah, so it's not like with Dennis Schroeder, like, hey, a 1 year deal for $8 million, whatever it is, 10, 12. But like with him, it's like, hey, you're locking this guy in to help you win a championship with Cade. Obviously not like the running partner, but you know what I mean? One of those pieces, top 7 pieces.
Did he bash JB? I didn't even know that.
I did actually. I saw a tweet. Yeah, I saw a tweet that someone was like, why would we want him if he said something bad about Ty Jerome? Or Ty Jerome said
stay on that side. Stay on that side.
Yeah, if you leave this offseason and Ty Jerome is like your big accusation, I don't know. I mean,
I would probably break my computer, to be honest.
Yeah, I would rather. I don't know. We're going to talk about it later. I think I don't know. I don't think Ty Jerome would be the move that everyone's excited about and be like fired up about. You know what I mean? That's not like he would help your bench, but their bench was really good. Like they had a good bench. You know what I mean? It's not like Ty Jerome is like, oh yeah, here we go. You know,
he's not that guy.
No,
he's not that guy.
We're a contender now. We got Ty Jerome.
We got Ty Jerome. That's
a needle mover if I've ever seen one.
I don't know, man. I've said this before, Caleb. I don't expect it to be a busy off season. I don't know. I just a feeling I have. I think they re-sign guys. I think maybe you go out and trade for like I think at best you're getting like a borderline, maybe someone that's a borderline star. I don't think they go get someone that's already like this proven star. I just don't see a splash trade. I just don't. So I'm just trying to prepare the people for like, you know, they're probably going to run it back with a similar roster. You know what I mean? And to me, what, like when you look at the playoffs and you look at all these teams that are still in the playoffs, you look at the Pacers, for example, like the Pacers are up and it's a great story. Like the whole team, they have so many options on that team. Like they got Siakam. They have Tyrese. They have Miles Turner. They have obviously a guy like Benedict Mathurin coming off the bench. They have Naismith. They have this collection of guys that are just solid players, and they're getting it done. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, is that a team that's going to be like this? Like, you know, they're going to go on a run for I don't know. Probably not. But if you're talking about making the finals, like they can do it with Cade, with Ivy, with what they have in the young players. Now, if they have to go and add more, though, they have to add more. But I don't know if it's like, oh, if you don't get a Kevin Durant or you don't get a Devin Booker, this team's cooked. You know what I mean? I don't. I think they can, especially the East. Like the East is still wide open. Like Boston, you got Jason Tatum with an Achilles injury. He'll be out till late next year. I think Boston's vulnerable. I think Boston's vulnerable.
Well,
right
Boston's
now.
going to fall apart.
And
Boston's
that's the
their
only
whole
team
run
in
is
the East
over.
that I'm looking at, like, oh, they're the
Yeah.
they're the
I think
team
Boston's
But-
window's closed.
But when you're talking about like building a contending team, like when you get to this point, like I think for us for a while, at least for the Pistons, when you're talking about getting to that level, like the Knicks, they're like, we need to beat Boston. Well, everyone forgot you have to beat the Thunder to win the championship. You have to beat the Timberwolves to win.
Well,
it
the
all,
Thunder,
right? You have to beat the
another team.
Nuggets. Yeah,
Thunder
like
didn't
but
make any big trades like that. You know what I
no,
mean?
but
Thunder-
they stayed put. But it took them a couple years to kind of get to the point they are. So like the Pistons, probably in my opinion, like if they took the Thunder approach. Next year they wouldn't even get there. It'd be like in 2 or 3 more years is when when Ron Hollins takes that step. When Asar really takes that step. Like I think it's a couple more years if you're talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder approach. Are we talking about this later, Jeff, or are we just going to go into it now? Because let me know, because then I'll.
No, I feel like Caleb's here. Might as well just talk about it.
All right, then I'm going to say it. Then I think they do need to. And I don't know if we didn't talk about it on the show the other day. Trajan Langdon came out and or no, not Trajan. What's his name? No, Tom Gores came out and he did an open letter to the city and to the fans, and he basically said, "Hey, we are approaching this offseason with urgency to win." And when you say that, when those words come out, that puts me in a position to have to think, being in the media, they are going to make a move to win now. Like they think they're ready to go, that they can make a move. And I think that Trajan's going to look at every single star that's going to be available, whether that's a free agent or via trade. I think he's going to look at every single option. My prediction and what I think they'll do, my prediction is they make a big splash trade or free agent signing, and they bring in someone to go with Cade, Jaden, and whoever this third guy or second guy will be. What I want them to do, I want them to go get a big free agent trade signing. So I think they're going to end up doing it. I want them to do it. I think they're going to pull the trigger. And if something comes across Trajan Langdon's table that makes sense and it's a player that fits their system and fits what they're about, I think they do it. And I think they're going to end up finding a guy. I'm not going to say it's a Giannis or a Kevin Durant level, but I think there's going to be a bigger time player that maybe at some point in his career has been an all-star or could be an all-star, where it becomes available, a Lauri Markkanen, someone like that comes available and comes across Trajan's desk, and you go, let's do it. Because if we add this player to this team, we are automatically NBA title contenders instantly. And I don't think there's a world to where after what you just did, what you did, and Cade Cunningham getting all NBA, that you don't make those moves. You're no longer in a position, in my opinion, just to sit back and let this thing go. You are now in a position to win, right? Like the Pistons now, last offseason, if I told you, hey, in 12 months, the Pistons are going to be a position to go all in and win an NBA title, you guys will laugh at me. That is the position we're in. And if you want to be one of those guys, hey, sit back and let this thing just play out, okay, I can see it. But you're not going all in to win. Like, you're content next year with losing in the second round and letting this thing play out. Where if you go add a piece, you are now competing for a title. If you don't add a piece, you're going to compete, but you're like, okay, there's still that, hey, yeah, it's whatever. Second, third round, we're good to go. No, you add a piece and you go compete for a title. And you don't have to get rid of all of your pieces to do it. You can find a free agent. You can get a mid-level player, but you go find one more piece to this top 7, top 8, and you go out there and you go compete for a title next year. You do it. Look at the Celtics. They did it. They went and got Porzingis, Al Horford. You know, they added, I know they drafted some of those guys, but they went and got like those pieces. Those were like the final pieces to the puzzle. That's all the Pistons need to do this offseason, and they'll go win one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Cade sped everything up. Like, he's this good. You got to pair him with other players that are going to give him the chance to win the NBA Finals. And the fact of the matter is, it's like in the NBA, at least, if you're not getting better in the offseason, you're getting worse. Because if you stay at that standstill, if you're here for 4 or 5 years, what are you going to do? Look at, I think it was one of you guys that mentioned it on the show a couple weeks ago. Look at the Atlanta Hawks. Like, look where they have been for these past couple years. They have the All-Star in Trae Young, but didn't put pieces around them to really contend. Now, do I think they're going to trade guys like, you know, Ron Holland and Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, or these guys? I don't know. I it's hard to say. I think you're going to have to figure out who's really your core before these guys they're due up to get paid. But yeah, there's some free agents I do love. Naz Reid, I think he'd fit perfectly on this team.
Nas did struggle down the stretch, or he has been struggling, to be honest. Because I love Naz Reid, but then I went and looked. I was going to bet on him yesterday, and I pulled up his stats, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what has this guy been doing?"
Yeah,
what's so funny, Jeff?
Go on, sorry.
What's so funny, man?
No, I just this rubbish. Hey, can I throw a prediction? Can I throw a prediction out there though? In terms of a player, hey, you know who I want, Detroit? Get me Sabonis.
I love that too. Dude, any stretch like type of 4 player. I know he's not really like the best, like I don't know what his 3-point percentage is, but like a Lauri Markkanen though, to me, would just absolutely end the East. You would be the best team in the East if you had Cade Cunningham, Lauri Markkanen, and Jaden Ivey and Asar. It's over. And Jalen Duren. I don't know how you would finesse. Go give up your next 4 first-round pick. First-round pick, Caleb. I think you said something about first with the trade that we talked about. When you are in a title window, first-round picks don't matter. You don't, who cares about, and especially in today's NBA, when you're picking from 25 to 30 and half of the kids are going back to college anyways, first round picks don't matter. Get rid of your next 4 first rounds, go get someone and compete to win a championship the next 4 seasons. And then you're right back to getting your first round picks back and you have a championship under your belt.
Yeah, but you got to be smart with them. Like the 2 guys you guys just named, I will fucking throw up and puke if I see a report that we gave up first round picks for Domantas Sabonis or Lauri Markkanen.
Why? Why?
Sabonis is not the stretch that everybody thinks.
Okay, take away the stretch. That man is he's
what Jalen Duren can be in 5 years.
You need to know, though. You need to know.
Not 5 years.
You need to know.
No, he's what Jalen Duren can be in 2. A good rebounder, a player that can facilitate and score around the rim. Sabonis hit 1-3 in March. So let's not talk about how he's
okay. Time out. There's a reason. There's a reason I switched to Lauri. There's a reason I said Lauri Markkanen because I want Lauri to shoot the rock. I don't care about Sabonis shooting it. Will Jalen Duren ever average 20 and 14?
That's a good question. If he develops a jump shot, we have the best shooting. We have the best shooting coach in all of basketball. He turned Lonzo Ball into the best.
That's the last 3 NBA. The last basically 5 seasons, Sabonis is out here getting 19 or 20 points and 14 rebounds a game. That's what I mean
by like lower love. Like I don't in Markkanen. The only thing I don't like about Markkanen is he's always hurt. That's the only thing I hate about Markkanen. He's just always hurt. He's
not hurt. He just doesn't want to play. He's like this. These guys are bums around me.
Like with Lauri, he's always missing like 25 games. It's just like he's just always missing 20. But he's a perfect fit.
You need that type of player, in my opinion, right now.
No, but. This is why I'm saying like they're not getting KD, they're not getting Giannis, they're not getting Booker. So it's like what else is out there? Markkanen, Sabonis, It's like who if you don't want those, Caleb.
I guess we're running it back then. If those are my only options,
you're a Piston.
If those are my Markkanen, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's a really good player in Utah. I think if you put a guy like Lauri Markkanen in a playoff
wait. Time out. I just want to throw this out there. This isn't at you, but it's at you, Caleb.
Okay.
Typically, and I've talked sports with you a lot now. Typically, when you say you don't want something or this isn't going to work out, it's typically like a really good move. The opposite, like for you to say, and that's not me being like, no, but like. Majority of the time, that's why I love it. You're like, this guy sucks. He's the worst. Then you'll go out and get like triple-double and game winner, and you're like,
no, that does happen a lot.
But it's like it's in every sport for you. I don't know if it's because you jinx it. So when you say I don't want Lauri or I don't want Sabonis, he's going to be terrible. It makes me think if they make that move, he's going to be like an all-NBA player. We're going to be like, yup, there we go.
That's truly okay, let me say 2 things. Really,
it wasn't to be mean.
Number
realistic.
2, it's a really good way to think about it. Now, let me say this: if they're gonna, here's what's gonna happen. I want everybody to clip this right now. Everything I said in the past, because if they go trade for Sabonis, he's going to be an MVP. Just because I said I don't want him. That's how this works. That's why we love the game. And
yeah,
look, I mean, and Markkanen as well. and Markkanen. But Markkanen, I'd rather have Sabonis than him. But if those are the only two names that we're talking here, we're in big trouble.
Yeah, that's why I just like my gut's telling me, man, it's not going to be that type of offseason. And I don't think that's a terrible thing. I don't. I think, do they have to get better? Yeah. But I don't know, like, what's the path? I mean, it's just who's out there. You know what I mean? You
just got to get the right fit. That's all it is.
You know, it's tough, man.
Jump on the Nas Reed trade with me.
I like it. Hey, I'm in on the Nas Reed trade.
Hey, you see Nas Reed, what he said to the Thunder? He said, quit flopping. He said that in the game yesterday. He said, y'all need to stop flopping. I was like, make this guy a Piston.
I think
he also got in a fist fight with him, too, which could be an interesting dynamic.
No, that's good. He knows. He's like, I want to go there. Like, they got each other's back. Like, he experienced it firsthand.
Yeah, I like
Sometimes players respect that. Hey, by the way, I think Torque just hit a bomb. 2-1.
See, what did I say like 20 minutes ago that the Tigers were playing like the worst team in baseball? Now they're scoring.
Now they're it's something about you, Caleb, dude. When you say you hate someone or someone's bad, it's like it just turns it's like their body feels it and they're like, oh, I want to prove Caleb wrong. Boom. Done.
Yeah. And the only person that hasn't worked with is Maeda, maybe. But everybody else, Torque, all these guys.
Hey, what do you think about Vierling coming back?
Say something bad so he plays good.
I should. I mean, it seems to work now, Boone. But I mean, it's so huge. You get a veteran bat in your lineup like that for a team full of young players. He was so important for this team's run last year. Just his versatility. He could play corner outfield. He could play third base. And like I said earlier, like him coming back gives more opportunity for guys like Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, these guys to be able to DH, once or twice a week. So yeah, Vierling coming back is huge. And another guy too, like I think not necessarily Tigers fans, but I think MLB fans in general, a player they generally underrate is Parker Meadows. Him coming back it changes the entire dynamic of this team. You get way more athletic and you get the best defensive center fielder, in my opinion, in all of baseball. And I mean, the MLB should be fucking terrified because the Tigers are already the best team in baseball. And now they're getting some of their biggest key contributors back. So, I mean, Vierling coming back, huge. Meadows coming back soon, huge as well. And then you get Mize coming back, hopefully, this weekend. So, we're getting healthy.
These guys need to get healthy. Yeah. Got to figure that out.
You know what? You're the man, Caleb. I don't know. You like? I'll just
wow, such a great.
Because I don't know what I don't. I feel bad. I mean, he's got a show tomorrow.
Yeah. What do you have planned for the show tomorrow? Anything big?
Good stuff. Me and Klotz, we got Raj joining, so that's going to be a fun guest. We got we're going to talk some Lions schedule, and then me and
that's why Klotz isn't on tonight. He's like, I want to save it for the Saturday show. I don't want to give anything away.
I mean, it's always an honor to share a mic with the guy Lukas Klotz. So I'm excited tomorrow. So yeah, make sure to tune in 10 a.m. sharp.
You need to get them going a little bit. When I tune in, I'm going to be getting my haircut in the morning. I'll be out on the golf course in the morning. So when I turn it on, drinking my coffee out on the 8th hole, I want to tune in and I want to hear you getting Klotz going a little bit. Get that man fired up. All right.
Oh, I got a good segment for Klotz tomorrow. It's right up his alley. So I'm excited for it.
Dan Jackson segment. It's good.
You need to ask him about his Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams tomfoolery.
We can get into that. Will you call it tomfoolery? I've been saying that word a lot, Boone. That's crazy that you just said that. It
just popped up. I haven't heard it in a while. It just came out of nowhere. I don't know why.
All right, stealing my flow. I get it.
Have you said tomfoolery to me recently?
But, I mean, maybe not to you, but in
there
general,
we go. No stealing of flow.
Speaking,
it means we're on the same wavelength at that point.
That's a positive way to look at it. Boys, you're the best.
All right, Caleb.
Love you, brother.
Tomorrow, brother. All right, there you go. Caleb Czarnik joining the program. I don't want to keep anything. Man's got a show tomorrow, so you know what? Fuck you, Caleb.
He just gave us the double birds in the background.
Yeah. Fuck that guy, man. All right, let's play this clip. It's
that was thrilling.
It's from Pat McAfee. It's Ian Rappaport talking about Hutch's contract. So let's take a listen.
How about this word? Tom Boonerly. I like that one. Shout out generic, man.
All right, let's take a listen.
Rap sheet, Aiden Hutchinson says that he is fully cleared and healthy for play. Does that like as far as the timeline they thought, is he ahead of schedule? And it's only May 23rd. I would assume that they're happy with that. How do you think his training camp schedule is going to work out?
So first of all, timing wise, was that yesterday? That was yesterday when he talked to reporters,
Yes.
right? Okay. So he did that yesterday. That was the first time he's talked in a while. I believe he was cleared several weeks before that. At least when I kind of checked in, like he had been cleared. This was more him announcing, but timing is good. I believe contract wise, and he's another one that, the Lions have taken care of their superstars early with massive contracts. I mean, they have really done a nice job of getting deals where guys can be really happy about it, but helping themselves by doing them really early. Like Penei Sewell was obviously a big one. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, there's been several of them. Now that he is fully cleared, and let's say he goes out in OTAs and looks normal, which is what I expect because he's awesome. I believe that he's another one who will get, paid a huge deal. Will it beat Myles Garrett? I don't know, but he will be among the highest paid edge rushers in the NFL, as he probably should be. I mean, Myles Garrett is amazing and deserves everything, but there is a little bit of space there between Hunter and Crosby and Myles Garrett. We'll see where he ends up on that list, but I believe being cleared will pave the way to a new deal.
And then you have to wonder, what's TJ Watt doing?
Oh. Yeah.
And then Trey Hendrickson, obviously, way down there. A lot of people have gotten paid this offseason. They deserve it. That's how the game is being played. You need 4 dogs up front on the D-line, and you need a great offensive line to combat that. I think they know their value at this particular time, as they should. Good luck to all parties.
All right, so Ian kind of talked about that, right? Like he's going to be one of the highest paid edge rushers. I guess the question would be, where is he going to rank when he does get paid, and will he jump Myles Garrett? And where will TJ Watt end up? Because
That sounds
TJ Watt, where will he end up? Because he has to get paid too. And he should be getting paid probably 40 as well, to be honest with you. So I think Hutch, because I saw the report that they've been negotiating with him already, but now that he's been fully cleared, you're probably going to see a deal done. I would assume by the end of this season, I don't know if it'll be before the season, during the season, kind of whatever it is, but I think he gets a deal done in the next couple of months. Now, where will he be ranked? I think he's just under Myles Garrett, in my opinion. I don't think he jumps Myles. I think he gets paid. I mean, you look at that list of guys. He's probably going to be second.
Can I pull this up real quick?
Yeah, I think
I got the picture here.
Yeah, it would probably be like 38 million, something like that. 39 million.
Okay, that's where, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the money, but like when you look at the list. What's the most amount of sacks Aiden Hutchinson has had in his career?
I think it's 13. What was it? 11? Was it 13?
Maybe
I can't remember.
I mean, I could pull it up real quick, but like this last year, obviously he was on track for.
Oh, maybe 11 and a half then.
But 11 and a half was that max year that he had, and then in 2024 he has the 7.5. I think there's a world, and Shift God just put it in there. Like he will get his bag. Like I think he's going to get his bag. I've had this conversation and with you, Jeff, and Klotz, to where typically every single star player that has been due a contract that the Lions are for sure all in on. Like obviously JMO is the question mark because you don't know right now. But like guys like Amon-Ra, Penei, Jared, Kirby, those are guys you're going to pay. And they got them done instantly before the draft, like when they're due, right? Hutch has been the one outlier, and obviously he's injured, but he's been the one outlier that you've been sitting there going, why hasn't he gotten paid yet? And no one really knows if it's because Hutch is the one that doesn't want to get a deal done right now, or if it's the Lions. And I think there's this world where if they got a deal done right now, Jeff, and this is just being realistic, he's probably falling in that Nick Bosa, Max Crosby part right there, right? Like, I don't know if you can go out there if you're Aiden Hutchinson having 11.5, 7.5, and say, hey, I want to get paid 35 plus over Danielle Hunter, a guy who has done it for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Do you know what I'm saying here? And I think like the Lions side, they're looking at it like that. And even the agents, like as an agent, typically when you do these deals, you look at it from a stance of, hey, this is what my client's done. This is where he ranks among, his peers. This is what their deals look like. This is what he should get. Like that's typically how it's done. it's typically like it is done with projection, but you have to have an idea of that. And when you don't have the full picture because of the injury and you don't know what he would have hit and you don't know where he was at, and he hasn't even hit 15 sacks yet. So you don't know if he could ever even get there. Like, what if you pay him $40 million and he doesn't get to the 15 that shift guy yesterday was saying, right? Like, and he ends up not doing that. So you're sitting there in a weird spot. And I think I'm starting to lean more on this side, Jeff. And I know this is crazy to think. I'm starting to lean more on the side to where Hutch and his camp are like, hey, we want to wait a year. Like, I know you guys want to get this deal done maybe and get it at 30, 35 million to get it cheaper. Maybe Hutch and his camp sitting there going, Hutch is telling his agent, listen, I'm going to go out there and get 17 this year. I'm going to go get 15 this year. And as soon as I get that, they can't say anything and they have to give me 35, 40 million. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think his camp might look at it like that. And I know the injury, like he's not guaranteed it. He has a good mindset, dude. He could go out there and easily be like, I'm going to get this done and let's do this contract after and make even more money next year.
Even though I don't deny he will go out and ball, I just think if I'm his agent, I'm telling him like, if they're offering you 37, do it.
I don't think they would be though. I don't think he has the past stats to be able to go and say, I want 37 million to be the second highest paid guy. I just don't. And you guys know where I stand on Hutch. I think he's the top 3 in the NFL. Some people disagree, but I get that. I just don't know if that's how the league works to where maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know.
There has to be some incentive for the Lions to get it done quicker too, because they know what he is and they want to get ahead of it too. So I think I'm hoping both sides are looking at it the same way, where it's like, hey, we know you're coming off an injury, but we believe you'll be the player you were. So here's a bag. And Hutch can look at it like, hey, I get security and I don't have to go prove it. Like, I'll take it. Now, if they're offering him 30, then if I'm Hutch, I'm like, well, I should make 38. Like, I'm going to go out there and get 15 sacks and I'll lock in that 38. But I don't see how, even right now, like Danielle Hunter, he's a better player than Danielle. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a world where you could be like, hey, like Myles Garrett, dude, has been in the league for so long. He has multiple defensive player of the years. You're not going to get close to him, like in my opinion. If they do, kudos to his agent and kudos to Hutch for getting that. And I'm not going to say it's a bad. But like to me, it's 35 million. Like that's the max number I think you would give him. Like Max Crosby has been one of the best in the league for 4 years now, top 5, and he only got 35. So if you're the Lions, you're not giving him more than Max Crosby. You're going to be like, hey, this is your range right now. But Myles, you know what I mean? Myles is just a different, like, 2-time defensive player of the year. Hutch hasn't won one yet. You can't. Again, and Jeff, we've talked to agents. We've talked to these people. Like, when you look at those contracts, it gets done by what do your peers do, right? Like, what are your stats and your accolades compared to your peers? Myles Garrett had two-time defensive player of the year, 17, 18 sacks every year, 15 sacks. Hutch can't put that next to it and say, hey, I want this much.
Didn't Amon-Ra and Penei both have all pros when they signed too?
Yes. Yep. 2-time. Amon-Ra last year won. And yeah, they actually both did.
So that's the other thing too. Like,
Hutch, and they were healthy for years.
Hutch has only had a Pro Bowl, I think.
And missed a year, basically.
But again, they pay guys based on potential too.
Yeah, and that's where I think the 35 million comes into play, where you go, we'll give you 35, 36.
I think he's going to be second when Watt gets paid.
I think Watt gets
28,
like
which is crazy. He should be getting paid. He should be right there with Garrett, TJ.
Yeah.
So
Trey Hendrickson should get about 35 to 40.
And then there's Trey Hendrickson too. It's like, where would Hutch rank when all those guys are done? I think Hutch is probably behind those guys, to be honest. That's why if I'm Hutch, maybe you wait to see what Trey and TJ signed for, and then you can
I'm pumped up to see actually what Hutch does end up getting. I really do hope the deal gets. You guys know I've been the one. Remember, like a week ago, I came out and said this deal needs to get done sooner rather than later, because if you wait until next year, you're going to have to pay a pretty penny. And I think this year you just get it done. For people in the chat saying 36, 37, like just get that deal done, right?
Doughboy Steve says, what have you done for us lately? Sat on the sidelines with a broken leg. Fuck you.
Whoa. That's a little much.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm sure Brad will repeat. He'll probably have the same energy, I'm sure. No, I'm kidding. Peaceful Tim says, Hutch never been all pro. That seems odd to me, to be honest. Yeah, no, he hasn't been all pro. He has not been all pro. He's been a Pro Bowler, but he hasn't been all pro. Malik says, yeah, this deal has to come quick. He'll be expensive as fuck if you wait and he balls out.
That's where I think his camp a little bit. I think that the deal would be done by now if those conversations haven't came up. I think, you guys, Jeff, you know it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A deal would have been done now if Hutch and his camp wasn't considering sticking it out for another year and trying to go out and ball out and get paid more.
Boy, Steve. I can't believe that's funny as hell.
That was a wild comment.
Coach says you could pay someone based on potential, and then you have this comment too. JT saying, "Pay Hutch on what you think he will do, not what he has done."
Yeah, I do think there's the aspect of potential because if he does get 35 to 38, like you said, TJ Watt's going to get more than Hutch. Trey Hendrickson probably will end up getting paid.
What about
other
this
guys?
One? MC3 who that says Hutch and Jameer, I think, are the only two guaranteed to be extended.
No, I think Panay was guaranteed.
No, he's saying guaranteed to be extended out of like Brian, Sam, like all the guys that need contracts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jack and all those guys. I don't know.
The Jameer one, I know how you feel. So
I don't know if I agree with that. Hutch, yes. Jameer, I think he should be up there, but like Brian, Sam, like all these guys, really?
I think they're all going to get paid. I think they're just going to end up having to rely on a lot of young guys or cheap free agents vets.
I think I would put Jameer. I would go if I had to rank guys my priority of getting paid. I would go Hutch.
I hate you so much, dude.
Hutch, Brian, Laporta, Jameer.
This is so crazy, man.
Amo.
That's the most disrespectful thing ever. I'm with you on the Branch. I think Branch is at the top. I would add him into the guaranteed extent.
Hutch, Branch, Laporta, Jameer.
There's no way
and
Jameer
Amo.
is. There is no way Jameer is that low. You do not let a running back, a top 3 running back, walk in the NFL. You don't. Look what the Giants just dealt with after they let Saquon walk. You don't. You let go of someone else if you have to.
Who?
Jameer does. I don't know. I would rather walk away from Sam Laporta and to keep Jameer Gibbs. You could draft another tight end. They drafted Sam Laporta. They had TJ and went to Sam Laporta. They've had back-to-back good tight ends. I would rather have Jameer Gibbs, a top 3 running back who almost touches the ball every other play, than a tight end who only gets 5 touches a game. A guy who gets 15 touches a game who's top 3 at his position, or a guy who gets 5 touches a game who's top 5 in his position. Give me Jameer. Jameer Gibbs is an all-time talent. This isn't your route. We're not talking about Sam at his position. You could say he is, but we're talking about like Jameer Gibbs is like, to me, a generational running back where you're like, this kid is different. Jameer Gibbs over Sam Laporta. Chat, am I crazy for things? I feel like Jeff's on like a wild island on this one.
No, it's not. My.
If you had to gun to head, if you had to choose Sam Laporta or Jameer, who are you picking?
Sam Laporta. And
That's nuts.
Sam Laporta. Because I think he'll probably be slightly cheaper by the time.
Jesus help me.
Paid. And I think this too. Having a tight end that can get you 1,000 yards, I think, is more rare than getting a good running back.
Jeff, this is where I think, and I agree with you, but Jameer's not just a good running back. He's top 3.
He's a great running back.
Yes. Like to me, if we're talking about like, I don't know, name just an average running back, like a good one, like an Aaron Jones or something. Like if we're talking about like a player like that, okay, yeah, walk. I don't care. Jeff, we're talking about Jameer Gibbs. He is in the Saquon conversation, CMC conversation. We're not talking about an average Ezekiel Elliott type running back. We're not talking about DeAndre Swift. We are talking about this guy has a chance to win Offensive Player of the Year every year for the next like 6 years. You're not walking from it. And there's people in the chat too. Listen, I'm not saying I don't like Sam Laporta, Jeff.
Sam Laporta can give
love him.
Sam Laporta can give you great years for over a decade. Jameer's not going to
You can draft another tight end that could potentially get you there.
The lifespan of a running back in the NFL is not that long.
Jameer Gibbs is generational. You do not walk away from a generational quarter or running back.
I think people underestimate how many teams in the NFL have great tight ends.
I mean, dude, the Cardinals found Trey McBride. Like, you could find tight ends, dude. We're acting like
Same thing
Sam Laporta's Gronk. He's not Gronk. Jahmyr Gibbs is like closer to a Gronk type at his position than Sam Laporta is at tight end. And I love Sam Laporta. I think he's a top 5 in the NFL. But this guy, like we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, who like you can put him up there with, I'm not saying now because he's so early in his career, but like all-time great running backs like CMCs and Saquons. You're not putting Sam Laporta up against Gronkowski and those guys. You don't walk away, man. You do not walk away from Jahmyr Gibbs. That's ridiculous.
I've seen teams have great running backs, and they're amazing running backs.
Not Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, okay, Jahmyr is a great player. I'm not trying to minimize the player. I just think if you were to need a replacement at some point, I mean,
you're not finding another Jahmyr Gibbs out of the blue. You need a top 10, 15 pick to get Jahmyr Gibbs.
In my opinion, when you're talking about winning a Super Bowl, I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who's at quarterback anyway. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs will have an impact. I think Sam Laporta will have an impact.
We got to move on. I can't
to give Jahmyr Gibbs $20 million at a position that has a very short lifespan in the NFL. It's just to me.
Jahmyr Gibbs is an elite. It's you're talking like your argument, Jeff. Because I agree with your argument. That's the most frustrating part. Is I do agree with your argument. We've had conversations for years about this. I've always been on your side. Your argument only stands for guys like David Montgomery and Aaron Jones and Joe Mixon and Ezekiel Elliott at his best. And like I could keep going. That's who that argument goes for. Players like that, to where you're like, you're not going to sign them to the $20 million. You move on and go find it. Your argument does not stand for Saquon Barkley, for Jahmyr Gibbs, for CMC, for Derrick Henry. It doesn't stand for those guys. They're a different tier. It's like you're talking oranges. I'm talking apples over here, bud. Because I agree with your argument. If I was talking oranges, I would agree with you.
I look at teams that have messed up in the past, paying great running backs. And
yeah, but also you look at teams like the Giants who moved on from Saquon, and then Saquon goes to a divisional rival and wins a Super Bowl because of him. Like he was like one of the main reasons.
Well, so was Todd Gurley with the Rams when they made the Super Bowl.
And then what happens when he left?
They got Kyron Williams, and they won.
No, I'm talking about in between that. What happened when he left?
Well, they got Kyron. They didn't. That wasn't with Kyron.
They dropped off, and they didn't really. They had a couple bad years.
They found Kyron.
Yeah, but now, are they Super Bowl contenders right now?
Who?
The Rams.
The Rams? Yeah.
And how long did it take them to find Kyron after Todd Gurley? How long did it take?
I think it was a couple of years. Not even.
No, it was like 4, 5. Took a while.
5 years. That was like.
But when you're in a Super Bowl window, like Saquon, like the Eagles, like imagine the Eagles just said, "Peace, Saquon," and then they just never win a Super Bowl again until they get to their next cycle of coaches and players.
I think running back they pay like the last type of piece. You know, where you like that.
But you already had the guy in your room, and you have the team, so it's like you keep him.
I think both players playing at their peak. I think Laporta will play at his peak a lot longer. Just my opinion.
So I want to ask you this: so Saquon is what, 5 years older than Jahmyr?
Yeah, something like that.
So when Jahmyr gets paid, he's going to be way younger than Saquon. Just got paid by the Eagles. That extension, the $20 million extension, 2 years he got. Do you think it was stupid of the Eagles to pay Saquon and try and go win a second championship? Or do you think they should have moved on and went and got another running back? This is going to tell me a lot. This is the exact situation, except you have a younger Jahmyr Gibbs.
They signed Saquon to get them over the top. But guess what?
But I'm saying they just gave him an extension a week ago.
But guess what? They already, by the way, Saquon was a big part of them winning. Obviously, he didn't play well in the Super Bowl. Didn't really matter.
Got him there.
Yeah, he got him there. But they got to a Super Bowl without him too. So they wanted him to get over the top. You know what I mean? It's not like like they were irrelevant and Saquon took them to relevancy. Like they were already a good team.
I hope people in the chat just hear what you said, that to get over the top and win the Super Bowl, you needed a running back like that.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying for them,
you need Jahmyr Gibbs
Saquon would put him over the top. That's fine. There's not too many Saquons all over the place. All right,
exactly.
Jahmyr, I don't know. I think Jahmyr, he ain't Saquon. He's probably on that other. He's right. He's right under Saquon. Saquon's like one of the greatest running backs of this generation. I mean, like Jahmyr Gibbs, I get it. He's a great running back, but like, let's chill out a little bit.
We're talking skill level. Jahmyr Gibbs, he's in year 3.
Yes.
He's going to get to Saquon's level. If not, he's already close to it.
He's close to it. Whatever though.
I almost just walked right to my car and drove home.
No, for me, I'm
you.
not
I love
big
you,
on
bro.
drafting running backs in the first round. Just my opinion, and I'm not big on just paying running backs a lot of money.
You've been consistent on that. I respect it, to be honest. I agree with you though, to the point like Demont. Like if Demont what's crazy, Jeff. Do you remember Demont at the Super Bowl? Like he had kind of admitted it. He was like, "Yeah, Jameer, he's earned his money." He's like, "I know I'm past that point in my career." Like he knew. Like I don't know if that was the exact words, but he definitely like Demont knows. Like,
yeah.
But if you were gonna pay a guy like Demont that much or 15, 20 million, I'm gonna be like, nope. As much as I love Demont, I'm out.
Well, speaking of Jameer, let's get to these over-unders. So we have a list of over-unders for the season, players, stats, receiving yards, passing yards, all that stuff. Let's get to it. All right, let's see what we got, Boone. Rattle them off. Chat, participate. Over, under, Lions over, unders. Let's do it.
All right, we only have four.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me turn on. Let me do this. Let me turn on some music here. All right, let's turn on some music.
That techno. There's only 4 over unders that I found so far on the sports books. I did not see Sam Laporta's on there unless in the last 4 or 24 hours it got released, which I'll look as we're talking about it just to double check. We have 4 of them. First one, Jeff, the starting quarterback, Jared Goff. His number, after having – now, let me do this, too, so I can give you some context. Okay, Jeff, I want to pull this up. Jared Goff, after coming off a season of 4,600 yards, in the year before, he also had 45 and 4,400 yards. This man's line is at 3,877.5 yards. Over under. Feels very low. What are you taking with this one? Chat, get involved. Over under. What are you guys thinking? 3,877.5 yards.
I mean, what is this, 2003? I mean,
I don't know why this is so low, to be honest.
We do this every year. I think every over hit last year for the line. Like we needed to start betting. We need to parlay every single one of the overs and just parlay them together.
We should. We should. The only thing that would kill us is injury. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I guess that would be the only thing that would be the only reason he wouldn't hit this number. I think he throws minimum 4,000 yards. So there's no way. I think if you want to actually, probably throws 4,400. So yeah, easily he's hitting over. He's hitting the over by a couple hundred yards easily. It's not even a debate.
I agree with that, actually.
Even in Johnny Mo's offense, they'll be slinging it.
I still think he, and you guys know where I stood on it. I still think he ends up having a big year. I remember last year the over under for touchdowns was 29.5. Remember, I told you guys, he's gonna have an MVP performance and have 35 plus. The man went out there and had 37 touchdowns last year. Like that was a big season. What do you think touchdown wise? Do you think if I set the number at 29.5 again with Johnny Mo, do you think he goes over 29.5 this year again?
Man, that's the perfect number. I think he gets, yeah, I would be shocked if he didn't. Just the report, the amount of weapons he has. I mean, he had 30, his last 3 years in Detroit, he had 29, 30, 37.
Yep.
I mean,
I would go over.
I would probably still go over. I think he gets 30, 31. I think because the 37 again would be insane. He might be able to do it. I think it's a tougher road schedule. So maybe he knocks a couple touchdowns off, but still, yeah, I would go over on that.
Yeah, love that. I would go over on both of them.
Yeah, the Bill thing last year is like, they might be up in some games where you might not. No, dude, the road schedule is tough. The schedule in general is tough. They're going to be in close games where he's going to have to throw the ball. So, I mean, unless you think Jameer goes for 2,500 rushing yards, maybe he doesn't have to throw the ball as much. You have the greatest running back to ever grace.
Well, so according to you and Klotzy, he might get the 37.5, 3,800 just with Sam Laporta, Jameer, or J-Mo and Amon-Ra. He might get it just from 3 wide receivers.
He might just do it with, Isaac Tesla. He might just do half of that with him. Give me that over, man. He's getting
Klotz texting us today asking, hey, do these guys hit 1,200 yards? I think he was making some bets. And he said, Amon-Ra 1,200. I said, no, Amon-Ra's under 1,000. It's Sam Laporta getting 1,500 this year, Klotzy. That was so funny.
I'll go over on everything, Jared.
Overall, Jared Goff props. You need to remind us, Jeff, too. when we get closer to the season, when all the props are out, we need to find a sports book that we can parlay all of them. And we need to do it. We really should.
They don't let you typically, right?
I'm getting the odds from FanDuel. Some do. I've had some where I can do it. I don't know if you can on certain ones. I could try and see, to be honest. I haven't tried this year, but I know last year I don't think I was able to. Let me see real quick. I could check
I would
for us.
parlay all this.
It doesn't let us combine it.
Oh.
I don't know. All right, maybe a different site we could do it. Second one. Running back, Jeff. The guy that you're willing to move on from, Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, oh, man. Over, under, rushing yards. 1,050.5.
Oh,
Are you taking the over? 1,400 last season. And his line is at 1,050.
There comes a point where you gotta take out the whole separate what I think about extensions. Let's just be real. 1,000? Really?
Oh,
I think if he gets hurt and misses a handful of games, he'll still end with 1,100. You know what I mean? I'm not
crazy.
He had what, 1,400 last year?
14, almost 1,500.
Yeah.
14-12 last year.
Yeah. This is rushing strictly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel bad just going over again, just on every single one, but the lines are so low.
If they said 1,200 and something, I'd be or 1,300, whatever. I'd be
Yeah.
For 1,000.
Like this one. Are you ready for this one? Amon-Ra St. Brown. Over under 1,075.5. I don't know what they think is going to happen in Detroit. They must not like Johnny Mo.
I think Amon-Ra this year gets back to maybe not 1,500, but he gets more than he did last year. I think he's going to be in the round 14. I think for Amon-Ra. So yeah, he's going to blow that line out, man.
And if people want to make some money too, just roll it. This is all on FanDuel. I don't know why the lines are so low. These are FanDuel lines though. So if you want to go make some, it feels like free money almost.
Yeah, but they, like you said, injuries. I don't think any of these guys. Well, I don't know. You never say never.
Not free money. I don't want to say free money, but it feels like it, right?
It feels like it. Yeah. If they're healthy, all these lines are hitting. So yeah, easy. Yeah, over on Amon-Ra.
So we're 3 for 3 on the overs.
This ain't even. There's no argument to say under. There's no. You think he gets under 1,000? Are you psycho?
Last one, Jameson Williams. Actually, you've already seen the prep, haven't you? You know what his line's at.
No, I haven't. Tell me. I didn't look at it.
Guess the line. Chat, guess the line. Throw it in there.
I'll say it's going to be under 1,000.
Everyone just saying over.
Because Amon-Ra was at 1,000. He had 1,300. So J-Mo had 1,000. I'll say 820.
It's actually good.
What is it?
850.5. Coach Walk got it right on the mark. 850.5.
Remember last year he was at 750.
Yeah.
So it's see this one. I think he hits over. Because I'm with you. I agree. I think J-Mo's second on the team in yards, but I think he gets 1,000 again, right around that number. So I'm gonna go.
I'm still so shocked about yesterday. I was thinking about that all day long. Sometimes I can let go of takes. I can't stop thinking about J-Mo deep, regressing. It threw me off into a different world.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm taking the over. I'm going to go into an app and I'm going to find for J-Mo for 1,000 this year. I'm sure there's an app we can find that. And Alan said in the chat, contract year.
And a contract year, great point. Johnny Mo's system. He talked about a breakout year. The writing's on the wall for him to. I don't know if I'm not as far as to say he's going to get 12, 13, 14, whatever.
Would you be shocked though?
If he leads the team in receiving, I'd be shocked.
But what if you have two guys with 1,200? Because listen, Amon-Ra had 1,200 last year, Jeff. J-Mo missed 2 games. He plays in 2 more games. You have two 12,000. All right, that's a lot of twos. 2 1,200-yard receivers. And that's a lock. There's no question about it. You would have had 2 of them if he played in every game.
Yeah, I get it. I do. Think he plays in 17?
Yeah, I think this year he does. Yeah. The only reason he hasn't played in games in the past is like unless there's another suspension looming that we just don't know about.
Yeah, but injuries happen. I mean, like
Yeah,
I'm not talking about bad injuries. I'm talking about just like a little nicked up here or there. He might miss a game.
But he's played through some. Like he's had like ankle. Yeah. I think he's just played through some.
Yeah, I guess would I be shocked if they both have 1,200? I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be like, why? Like if they're about the same production, I would be a little like, oh, because I think Amon-Ra's like he's in another tier.
Yeah.
That'd be like, would you be shocked if Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson ended with the same production? It's like I would be. Shocked.
Yeah, no, not the same. But if like Jordan Addison had 1,200 and Justin Jefferson had 1,500, I would just be like, normal year for them, 2 dudes, and that's how I kind of look at J-Mo and Amon-Ra. It's 2 dudes.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I'll say.
What would you
at 850? It's like,
yeah,
come on.
What would you do for this, Steve-O baby? Over under for David Montgomery. They didn't have it up.
I'd probably say
750.
I would probably say, yeah, if his will probably be. I'd say in the 800, maybe 800 range, 800, something like that. What do we? Yeah, I mean, we can get to D-Mod after this because I actually want to talk about his production because I'm curious what he ends up doing, being healthy. That's what I'm really curious about because I think for Dave Montgomery, last year Jameer went off, but the last 4 games, I think we have a tweet about it actually, or someone had a tweet about it. Actually, I want to pull it up, but his last like 4 games of the year, he went for like 150 yards a game. So, but that was without D-Mod.
Yeah.
So what is it? What does his production look like with D-Mod? What does D-Mod do? You know what I mean? I think D-Mod this year, I think you probably see Jameer this year. I'm not talking about all purpose. I'm talking about just rushing yards. Probably like 1,300. He'd probably be around that number. And I think D-Mod gets like 800-900. Probably 800.
The drop.
I think the carry share should be probably 60-40.
Which I think that's what it's been.
Yeah, I feel like it's been close because D-Mod's like the bell cow, but I don't think it should be like that anymore. I think you got to give Jameer like carry. You got to give him about, if not more, about the same. Like Jameer should be getting 15 carries a game.
I'm interested. I always sit with the theory of, and I think it's something real, whether we like it or not. I do think Dan, it's kind of smart. I think Dan does look at it like I want to keep these guys healthy all year, and obviously it was such a kind of freak injury. I feel like with D-Mont, because didn't he just get hit? I think he got hit weird when he got injured. So like that was kind of a freak injury, but it had nothing to do really with like strain, right? Like he didn't really like, it wasn't a hamstring or anything like that. I think they have the mindset like, hey, if we have these 2 guys, yes, we can go 70% with Jameer. Is he going to stay healthy every game if we do that? No. I feel like that's a pretty good guarantee. Like at some point, he's going to have to take a game or 2 off or some getting banged up or some type of injury to where if we split it up correctly, if we end up instead of going 70-30, we go 60-40 or whatever it is, 60-40, we let D-Mont kind of be the bell cow. But then like in big moments, it's Jameer. Then I think that's how they look at it. And I know we might hate it, but I think they feel very comfortable with it. And I don't think they're going to change it up that much. I really don't. Because I think like last year, D-Mont already had like 25 less carries last year in the same amount of games than he did in 2023. So they obviously took some away from him and spread it around. So I think he ends up just doing what he had this last year. And obviously he missed the 3 games. So if he plays a full season, like 800-900 yards, almost 1,000, I wouldn't be shocked if he got there. He's good. Like we know D-Mont, he's top 15 in the NFL. So it's not like one of those situations where you're giving an RB2 all these carries and he's only getting you 2 yards a carry, 3 yards, and you're just trying to take some out of Jameer. Like, no, D-Mont's going to go out there and make plays for you as well. Like we've seen year after year, he just like the last 2 seasons, he's had explosive plays as well. And he's actually talked about last year how he slimmed down a little bit, got quicker, kept the weight, but slimmed down and made sure he had a little shiftiness so he can have those big plays. And as Coach Walk said in the chat, stayed a bruiser, right? So I think it's just, and then the one thing, do you remember Jeff? Oh, what was that game, man? Excuse me. There was a game where D-Mont got all of the carries in overtime and they ended up going down, punching in, and D-Mont
the Rams.
Yeah, it's like when that happens, I still think there's that world this year, and we know how good Jameer is, to where if Demont's hot, you're like, we can't go away from the hot hand. Every time he touches the ball, he's going 10 yards. And it's like, why would you switch that up? So I do think there are going to be one-offs still. And I think like it's just Jameer's top 3 in the NFL, but you also have a top 15 back sitting back there that you can use to your advantage to keep your top 3 back as healthy as possible, right? Like I think that's something that the Eagles don't have with Saquon, or the 49ers didn't have with CMC, is they did have dudes, but they didn't have a Demont to take carries away from CMC to help keep him healthy. And then you saw what happened with CMC. Like gradually, it's gonna wear and tear, and
it's gonna wear on you. Yeah.
Whether it didn't happen this last year, it's gonna happen this year if you're giving him that many carries.
Yeah, you got to be smart. You got to be smart about it. You know, I think they're both going to be involved. And I think they both have their own, what they're good at is what they're good at. Demont's obviously, like you said, the bruiser. Jameer's the big play guy. And you have to factor in too, like Jameer's going to be on the field more because he's such they're both great pass catchers, but Jameer had 500 yards receiving last year. I mean, he picked it up.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to factor in that he's getting a lot of touches in general. So even if Demont some games has more rushing attempts, Jameer's going to have catches. You know, he might have 5 catches a game, 3 to 5 catches a game.
Demont started getting in the pass game a little last year too.
So that's the thing I'm excited for with Jameer. I think Jameer can be Jameer can be an Alvin. Like Alvin has had years consistently where he's had 700, 800 yards receiving. If they didn't have all the weapons they had, I think he has that type of potential. He can get you like wide receiver 3 production pretty much.
And I do agree. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just he's just not asked to do that. So he's not, he gets you a couple hundred yards, but he's capable of way more.
I do agree though. Like Jeff, like a guy like I know Klotz is like Jameer needs to get all the carry. Like I agree. Like when you just like a back like that, you want that. Being realistic though, if you can keep this guy healthy for the next couple of years without having any major injuries, that's where I think some people don't take into account, to where it's hey, run him. Okay, now he's hurt, and now he's out for 8 games. And that's like Christian McCaffrey. Saquon, remember when Saquon was getting hurt, the hamstrings all the time? All that he did in New York was just run, and they had no receivers. They had nothing. So I think it just makes sense, to be honest. I really do.
Let's see. Mike Reed says Gibbs 1,000 rushing, 1,000 receiving. No, he won't get 1,000 receiving in this offense.
It would be sick, but I don't think he will.
Just with the weapons they have.
Yeah.
Now, if you dropped Gibbs on
Cleveland,
or the Raiders, like if he was in Gentry's position, he could get 1,000. He has that potential, man. He does. Like Christian McCaffrey did it with the Panthers. That would have to be the situation that he's in to do that. You know what I mean? Not here, unfortunately.
That's crazy accomplishment to do that, though, man. You got to be good.
Yeah, I believe you definitely can do that. MC3 Houdat says 65-35 in favor of Jameer. See, I don't know if it'll be that much.
65-35?
Yeah, that's a lot. Like Jameer to Demont, 65-35.
I think 60-40, or I even think maybe a little less.
55-45, something like that.
Because he's a great player. Like, yeah, you want to give your great player the ball that many times because he can make those plays. It's just, to me, it's just the injuries. Like, you don't want to use it all up. You don't.
No, you want to keep him fresh. That's a guy I will say. I mean, you do need him for you do need players like that for a super run. So you get an early bye week, but after that, man, you're off and running. So you want to keep him fresh. I do agree with that statement. But yeah, I think Demont gets about 800, 900 yards. You know, I don't think he get like the 1,000-yard season he had. Jameer was still young. You know what I mean? So I think they kind of know what Jameer is. So I think Demont's going to be the one kind of. I don't want to say taking a back seat like it's a bad thing, but I think they're going to shift it towards a little more towards you have a guy who can get you. It's a touchdown any play. I mean, you got to be able to give him the ball more. I know Demont has had flashes, but
I mean, we know Jameer he's a top Vikings 3 in the NFL, man.
That Vikings game where it was just Jameer, that's insane. Like what he was able to do in that game. Like
the dude he's a different planet.
So yeah, especially some of those outdoor games. But hey, I mentioned the Vikings, NFC North. I want to do NFC North grades, offseason grades. Go around the NFC North and give your offseason grades. We'll start team by team. We'll give out our offseason grades. We're talking draft, free agency up until this point. Who had the best offseason? And how I classify the offseason. Just want to what? You see something?
I was just wanted to say, just an idea. We should do like who we graded the worst all the way to our best. I feel like that would be pretty.
Okay.
Do you think that would be a good idea? Because I want to know like who we have at the bottom of the list all the way up.
So how I'm doing it, how I'm going to be grading is who had the best offseason in terms of improvement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Everything counted in is what I took at least.
Okay.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's how I did. I'll explain each pick. But we could start with the worst one. I know what I gave. I know what the worst one is.
Yeah, me too.
So, for me, a team that I think had the worst offseason in the NFC North easily should be the Packers. I think the Packers had the worst offseason.
Would you grade them?
I gave them a C+.
Okay, better than me. I gave them a C.
Yeah, I think they signed the guard from San Francisco, Banks, I think his name is.
Aaron Banks. Yeah, 4 years, $77 million.
They shored up their offensive line. They drafted Matthew Golden, but they didn't do enough to where you're looking at the Packers as real threats. They just haven't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't. So I think the Packers had the worst offseason in the NFC North. I think for the biggest question going into the season is Jordan Love, and they added a wide receiver and an offensive lineman to help him out. But you still have question marks at corner. What's the future with Jair Alexander? They didn't address that early in the year.
Yep.
You know, they got Nate Hobbs, the Raiders quarterback, but still they don't have. I thought they would replace Jair with somebody, and they didn't really do that through the draft with someone that's notable. So I think the Packers, did they improve? Yeah, but how much? Not as much as the other teams in the NFC North. So I'm giving them a C+.
Yeah, I think to me, I think that's fair. They added, I know they added Isaiah Simmons. They added an offensive lineman, as you said. They did bring in McCole Hardman as well with Matthew Golden. So they did get a couple weapons. It just feels like they didn't do that much to like really like, hey, take a big step forward. And then in the draft, like looking at their draft class, maybe they got a couple dudes, but like I don't know if they like I wasn't like particularly like, oh, that's a draft class if I've ever seen one. I think it was just an average draft class. So I gave them a C. Yeah, they were fourth on my list as well. I think that should be across the board, the Packers. And too, like it's not that they had like a very, very bad offseason. It was just very average, especially compared to what some other NFC North teams actually did throughout the offseason.
You want to now the next team?
Do you want me to do my third?
You do your third first.
I'll do my third. I had this team at I did this, Jeff, and you can kill me if you want, a C+/B-. So I think they're right on the edge of coming to B. Based off of, you know what? I'll go B- for them. I'll give them credit where credit's due. I did the Minnesota Vikings at a B- as my third favorite team, or third worst, I guess, or whatever you want to say, third out of the four. They did add a lot of pieces, and they extended a lot of guys. Obviously, they brought in Javon Hargrave. Who else did they get? Jonathan Allen, I believe. They got a bunch of different dudes. They added they got Jeff Okudah this year, Jeff Iafrate. They got Jeff Okudah, and then they also got Donovan Jackson as well. So
they revamped their whole offensive line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did. They got what's his name from the Colts as well.
Fries. Those are two top guys at their position.
That's why I think a B- is fine. Like, I don't think that's a bad. I think that's like saying, hey, you guys had a good offseason. You weren't one of the best in the NFL, but you know they re-signed and signed Andrew Van Ginkel, I think, to another. They paid him like $20 million plus or something like that. They re-signed Aaron Jones. They went and got Jordan Mason. I'm looking at the list here. Will Fries. Yeah, they got some dudes, man. They re-signed Harrison Smith. So I don't hate what they did. To be honest, I don't think it was a bad. Who did they get in the draft? I want to bring that back up here real quick. I can just click on this link and it'll pull it up. Their whole draft class. Donovan Jackson, Ty Felton out of Maryland. I love that. Kobe King out of Penn State. I like him. So yeah, I think a B- is fine. I think that's just, hey, good off season. Nothing too crazy, nothing bad. You guys, hey, one foot in front of the other. And they got JJ McCarthy starting now. Who's your third? Oh, no, he did it.
I have the Detroit Lions. There's no
ridiculous.
There's no way you can convince me the Vikings had the third worst offseason. They got the only question mark they have is their quarterback. They improved everywhere. Yeah. And they were 14-win team. You know, so I love what the Vikings did. I have the Lions in third.
So you're a Vikings fan now.
But here's the thing about this offseason. I want to
thing.
make sure we make this very clear. When I'm talking about offseason, I'm not saying this isn't power rankings. This is offseason in general.
Agreed.
So just because the Lions have the third best, they didn't have to do a lot because they have a better team. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm giving them a lower offseason.
That's where I looked at it a little different. I looked at it as what you could do. What did you do with that? Do you see what I'm saying? Like the Lions didn't have as much as the Vikings needed, but to me, the Lions.
Roy Lopez gives them a
think what the Lions needed to do outside of the edge position, I think they did a good job at what they needed to do or what they could afford to do based off of what their team already was. Like the Lions team is already better than the Vikings. The Lions couldn't do what the Vikings could do. They didn't need to. They already had established positions, established players. That's how I looked at it. I did it based off of that.
Like that. The Lions.
I think the Vikings made moves, but I don't know if they were like
they made big moves. They
not
got Will
really.
Fries. Will Fries is one of the best guards in the league. Ryan Kelly is a top center. They signed both of those guys.
Ryan Kelly. I wouldn't say Ryan Kelly's on the Will Fries level. You sign him for 2 years, $18 million.
It's probably. I would say Will Fries is probably a top 6 guard. I think Ryan Kelly's probably a top 10.
But again, Lions, they have Panay and Frank.
But we're off season.
I know. That's why.
Hold on. They traded for Jordan Mason, who's a pretty good.
Okay, but you're gonna grade a backup running backs now. Okay.
No, but I'm saying moves.
Lions have D-Mont.
They signed. They went out and signed 2 really good defensive tackles, Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargraves, who I think are good. I don't know about really good, but good.
I think
Jonathan
those are good signings.
Really good. They got better up front on both sides of the ball. I
think it's literally all they did this offseason was add the offensive lineman and add the 2 D tackles. I think that was like their offseason. And I think everything else was more so just like filler. And because they made more moves than the Lions, it's like, whoa, look at all the moves that they made.
Pretty good players.
Yeah, no, I think they're good players, but they didn't go out there and get like all pro players. To me, it's just like, hey, they did what they needed to do with what they needed going into 2024 or 25. They did it. They went and got 3 offensive linemen, 1 in the draft and 2 in free agency, and they added 2 defensive tackles. And I think kudos, you did your job. So to me, it was like when you look at it in a sphere of just those, hey, they got 3 O-linemen and 2 defensive tackles that were good. All right, sweet, good for them. The Lions already have their defensive tackle line built up and their O-line built.
And that's why I think signing Roy Lopez. He doesn't do a lot for.
But they drafted Ty Leak.
Yes, that definitely helps. That helps.
And then Ryan in the chat, but great. The draft B plus free agency,
but I think
which is good. D draft, like the draft was average, below average.
But I think free agency, the Lions, they signed DJ Reed, who I think is a good signing. We're gonna see if he's better or worse than Carlton as a CB1, but I think he's fine. He's a good signing. They signed Roy Lopez. And then they re-signed Levi Davenport. I mean, it's that. I mean, it is what it is. I think the draft helps the Lions a lot, but there's Zadarius they let go and they didn't really replace him with anyone. Are we going to bring that up?
I got you. Yeah, I'll bring it up for you.
I mean, they oh gosh, dude.
The Minnesota National Guard.
Can you hear this?
I mean, what are we doing? General John Jansen, I mean, thank you for your service. But what do we...
This is for you, Jeff.
Jesus.
I'm playing.
I just don't. It's like,
I understand. I think it's, you know what? I think it's fair.
So this is where
I think it's closer. Okay, because do you want me to be honest with you? I had the Vikings as B-. I had the Lions as a B+. So it wasn't like I had them as an A. Oh, they're the best. I had them at a B-. That's it. Or B+ to B+.
I actually had the Lions. I had the same thing, but swapped. So
okay. And I don't think that's that crazy. We're basically on the same letter grade.
Yeah, I had the Lions at a B-. Number 2. You go first.
Well, number 2, I had the Detroit Lions, B+. Yeah.
Okay.
I had the Detroit Lions B+.
I was making sure you didn't have the Lions 1 or something like that.
No, see, listen, this is where I'm not going to be a slappy or anything. People accuse me of being a slappy. I think the Lions did a good job with the guys that they brought back with Tim Patrick, AQM, Pat O'Connor.
I just don't
I think getting Levi O. I think especially one thing that I took into account, Jeff, that maybe you didn't, which is fine. Now maybe that I tell you will, but I think like the price that they got some of these guys back, like Davenport on a 1 year $4 million deal when it's basically an incentive deal as well, and Levi O basically on a 1 year $5.5 million on incentives. Bringing back a guy like Derek Barnes, getting DJ. I think one thing I wrote down, the number one thing I wrote down is the one position you lost this offseason was corner, and your corner one. They could have easily been like, let's roll with Terrion Ennis and bring in like an average dude. Brad went out there and said, give me DJ Reed. And he got one of the same level guys as you would say Carlton and most of those free agent corners were on, got him cheaper than those other guys. And then you extend Kirby. And I'll say this, I don't remember what you draft or what you graded the draft class. I thought Brad did a great job on the draft class. I think you could argue out maybe them and the Bears had the two best draft classes in the NFC North. So that's what kind of put them ahead of me with the Vikings was they got the B plus because their draft class was better. And I think free agency wise, outside of getting a Zadarius Smith, which I still think is up there to get, I think they did better. Maybe not in free agency fully as the Vikings because they didn't need to, but I think if you take account both, I think it was just a little bit better than the Vikings, just based off of what the needs were.
I think the Lions' big thing for
prices.
me that knocked them just under the Vikings, the only question, and we'll have an answer when the season starts or maybe before then, is kind of what you're doing at that second edge spot. I guess that's still like they let Zadarius go and they haven't really replaced him with anyone. They just assumed Davenport's here to stay. So I'm just going to let that play out. But that would be like my one knock. It's like, I mean,
I think that's fair. That's why I don't have him at an A or anything.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, hey, you're in a B right now.
We both gave him a B. I just gave him a B minus. You gave him a B plus. So it's like whatever.
So we both have
number 2. I have the Lions. The Vikings. And then number 1, we both have the Bears. I just think because we're talking about guys, you got to think too, because people are gonna here we go with the Jeff Bear Slappy thing. You got to think we're talking about everything: hiring Ben, hiring all the staff, free agency. We're talking drafts, like turning the Bears basically around. Does that mean the Bears are going to be the best team in the North? No, but it means they had the best offseason. I mean, they did. Can
I name what they did this offseason too? Like I think
they needed to improve. They needed to.
If people want to say, hey, boys, they should be second to the lot. I think the Bears had one of the best off seasons in not just the NFC North, like the NFL. Would you disagree with that?
I don't know. I don't disagree. We're talking about everything. Like, I agree.
Yeah.
Everything.
Like, all right. I got the list up here, Jeff. Offseason signings. I'm not going to even go to say Case Keenum. But like wide receiver.
I didn't even
Case Keenum, 1 year deal. They signed Devin Duvernay as well. That's just probably just get bodies in there. But they got Zacchaeus out of Washington, who had a big year in Washington and made big plays for the Commanders team down the stretch and in the playoffs. Jonah Jackson, I think, getting him as a trade. Joe Thuney, massive. Drew Dahlman. Like if we're talking about bringing in like your needs, what was the one thing this Bears team needed? O-line. What did they do? Jonah, Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman.
And they
thought that was good. Yes. And they got 2-year deal, right? Wasn't it?
Yep.
35?
They already locked him up too.
Drew Dahlman was a big one too. 3 years, $42 million. They got the Deo Edabingo that we were talking about bringing to Detroit.
He's good.
3 years, 48. We were talking about bringing him to Detroit. They got Grady Jarrett, extended Kyle Gordon. They got Scott Daly, long snapper. But,
Scott Daly's a good signing.
But no, I'm with you, Jeff. And I think their draft class, as much as Klotz hates the Colston Loveland thing, I think that was a good. Knowing Ben Johnson with Sam Laporta, I think the Loveland thing was good. And getting Luther Burden at 39 is unreal. Shamar Turner.
Yeah,
they killed it in the draft. And they got Kyle, and I don't know how to say his last name, out of Rutgers, the running back. Like,
did you see the doc actually posted it, but you see Ben after talking about their OTAs or like their practices and shit and how he's getting frustrated. Do you see that?
Is he really?
Yeah. Doc posted an article. It was like, I think he was, which is funny. It was about the Bears, but he wrote about it. I got to find it, but
basically, video.
I can find it. He also had a comment about the tush push thing. I didn't like Ben saying that. Do you see that? He's like, "Is it an explosive play?" I like explosive plays. Like,
I saw a lot of comments about the 3rd and 1 play call on that, and
yeah,
that kind of did make me a little.
I hated Ben saying that.
Does that not that honestly? Because I was in the middle. I was like, Ben did that all year. The 3rd and 1. That actually made me a little. I like Ben Johnson. That gave me some hatred towards that 3rd and 1.
It was kind of. It was just cringe. Like
yeah,
cringe.
that
You know what I mean.
that took me back to 3rd and 1. Him trying to pass the ball with J-Mo or doing all that fancy stuff.
Let me see. What is this true?
So like breaking news.
No, I just saw. Yeah, there's no way this was said. I looked up. I just saw it was a Ben quote. It said, "Look at this. This is fake, but look at this. I think it's fake. There's no way this is true. Wait, hold on. It was just on Twitter. It has to be true. It was on Twitter. Breaking today after practice, Ben spoke with team veterans regarding sloppy play. I did see that, but like he reportedly informed Cole Kmet that he'd be cutting off a finger for every appearance he has on a podcast. I don't know. That sounds like some shit Ben would say like jokingly. I don't know, but I don't think that's true.
I don't think, if I'm being honest too, Jeff, I didn't see all this stuff coming out of practice.
The whole play wanted.
Oh, we can watch this if we want. I just don't think where you. You're the Ben Johnson aficionado, or I don't even know how to say that word. That's definitely not the word. But I feel like he does need to set the tone, right? Like in Chicago, there's always.
I like it. He's a no bullshit guy. That's the thing. People and again, we can all hate Ben Johnson, but you have to think about he's coming from Dan Campbell. Like, what do you think Dan used to do when he first got here? He was like, "Oh, that was trash." Like, this
did you see that clip come out the other day of him like screaming at guys, being like, "What the f are you doing, you guys?" Like,
that's where he came from, man. Like, so we can't hate it because Ben's doing it. Like, it's the same thing.
I think Bears fans are a little bit on that side though, to where it's like they've never had like a good coach in a long time, to where they're like, "What is this guy doing, yelling at players?" Like, hey, welcome to where he was in Detroit. It's been like this for 4 years.
And Ben, I think Ben's quote, he talked about the practices and how he said it's been sloppy, it's been false starts, and he's getting frustrated. And he's like, I have to. I think he said, like, it was kind of funny. Something was like a therapy session. He said to the media, he said like, I got to remember to like, just keep like calm down a little bit. I get a little worked up during practice.
Just came from a Super Bowl contender too.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just getting fiery and I got to remember to like take it down a notch. He said something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like that, but he's probably on their ass at practice because that offense, it's a complicated offense. Like the fact that Jared's intelligent. I'm not saying Caleb's not, but Jared's been in this type of offense for a while. The players have been like, just to go to Chicago and they were in Eberflus and now it's like Ben walks in and it's like this complicated, like X's and O's offense. And now it's their first OTA.
It's a young outside of Keenan and young offense.
Yeah. Well, Keenan's not there. I don't think he's still a free agent.
No, are you sure? Because I swear I just saw a video of him catching a pass. It said Allen on the back, and it was like 18 or something.
Is he?
I think Keenan might be with the Bears.
No,
I swear. I just saw a video of him catching a pass in practice.
You might have saw like last year's practice.
I had to watch it 3 times because I was like, he's back. I didn't go look it up. I just.
No, because you know what? Which is crazy. He's still a free agent. I don't know if he's been offered. He probably has, but like he's not signed anywhere.
I know he's a little older, but dude, he's still like he can give production. I think he looked slow last year.
I think that's the thing with my whole take with the Bears. Like I think they'll be second in the division. I think they figure it out. But am I going to deny that it is the first year in a system? Like it's going to be.
I think that and what Bears fans need to know, and I know we hate Bears fans, Jeff, but. My message to them would be like, give it time, couple years. Like in Detroit here, when Dan got here, I know you guys already have a team established. Like I heard like Big Cat was on with ESPN radio. Is it Waddle and Sylvie? I think Waddle and Sylvie or something. And I watch them sometimes just get a kind of feel for Chicago, what's going on with the Bears. And he was on there and they did the record predictions. And he said that he was like, I think 9 to 10 is realistic, but I think it is, but don't be shocked if it's lower than that, in my opinion, because it's like year 1 in that regime. And like in Detroit here, what was our first year? 3 wins. And I know we had a completely different roster, right? But you do have to get to account like, hey, it takes a year, maybe 2 for like a guy like that with that offense, like you said, and that culture. It's a different.
Like if I'm being real, I think I think it's a team that could they make a wild card? Yeah, but I think they lose in that wild card. Like I think it's going to be that type of first year where it's
I'd
like
be shocked if they miss the playoffs.
or they
It's not a
miss
big
it.
deal.
Like that's going to be. I don't think they do much this year, but I think year 2 they got to build on that. That's why I like the NFC North this year for the Lions. It's like the only. Like, I think the Bears can be good in the regular season, but we're talking like big picture NFC threat. The only team I see as a potential threat in the postseason would be the Packers if they somehow get into because they have that experience. Matt LaFleur has been coach. I mean, he's been coaching for a while. They have guys that have been there. Like, and that's I'm probably the lowest. I haven't decided yet. I'm coming to a conclusion before we get to our rankings whether I am lower on the
It's a tough
Packers.
decision.
The Packers or the Vikings. I have to decide who I'm putting fourth. But
I think I'm gonna have the Bears last, to be honest. And I'm actually higher than you think on them. Like I remember I said I think they can win 7-8 games. I had that.
You just think it'll be a close division, like
yeah. I just don't know. Like I think JJ. I just keep running back the thought in my head. Like every year, it feels like with this Vikings team and Kevin O'Connell, when they get a new quarterback, Jeff, that we have sit there with, or even not even a new quarterback, like Kirk's a little older or this. Kevin O'Connell just figures it out, dude. Like he's the Sean McVay type. Like that's where he came from, and he's so good with that. And same with Matt LaFleur. I think with JJ stepping in, it might take a few weeks to get going, but when he gets going, he's a very. I think Vikings could be 2 again. I think it might go Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be good. Klotzy, I can't decide what Klotzy wants. I mean, the guy one day says the Packers are second, and then the next day he has the Bears is the only team beating the Lions. So it's like I don't know what Klotzy's smoking.
Yeah,
I
don't
gotta figure
know,
that
dude.
out. He's probably the wild card when you're deciding who's going to be first or second. I mean,
that's why I say when we put stuff in, we have to lock it in. We have to hold accountability. I don't even remember what the thing was a couple of weeks ago where I said, what was it? The chat probably knows where I said, I want you to remember. Oh, the Rams, the 49ers Rams thing. And there was another thing.
Oh, the contender thing. How they can't be contenders.
Oh, yes.
About that. They were like,
there was 3 things the last couple of weeks that I need to start writing in my notes, like accountability folder, and I'll have Lucas and I'll have Jeff, and I need to start writing that down.
And Boone, put some of your.
And I'll have mine, but like I'm not gonna put mine down. That's for you guys to. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I got this right, I got this wrong.
But I'm not.
That's
gonna
for
do that.
That's for you guys. No, you can. I don't care.
Malik says Lions finished first, Vikings finished second, Packers finished third, Bears finished fourth, same as last year. Although I do think the Packers and Vikings could swap between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Bottle says I'm thinking Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. Wow, Don, you're not alone. Everyone thinks Bears in last.
That's where I'm starting that.
I just
1, 2, 3, 4.
The only thing that I would push back on, I don't think it's because the NFC North is tough. I get it. There's not too many arguments. Like you can argue a couple different teams. The only thing I'll push back on is the people that are like, oh, the Vikings 2 or Vikings 3. It's like they have you say this the best, Boone. You say it the best. The most important position in football. They touch the ball every play. We have no idea what to expect out of their quarterback. And we're putting them 2.
I love you so much, bro. But
and we saw Caleb last year.
Yes, but you're talking about Caleb, but the last 2 years, like you saw Nick Mullins step into Kevin O'Connell's offense and win like 4 straight. That's where it's to me. It's like I get where you're
played in for a while in the NFL. He's not.
not Nick Foles. Nick Mullins.
Or excuse me, Nick
Mullins. Nick Mullins isn't no Nick Foles. Nick Mullins is like who is Nick Mullins? I didn't even know who Nick Mullins was.
Do I think JJ will be better than Nick Mullins? Yes, but you got to.
But they won games with him. A lot of games.
He's been around. I mean, he gets.
No, I just think. But the thing is, it's like JJ. It's his first action. But again, he's been in the league for a year now. He's been around the system. He was on the sidelines for all the games. They literally said that he was trying to act like the starting quarterback with Sam Darnold down the stretch last year, so he could prepare himself. Like, the only thing he hasn't, like, he knows the playbook and everything. He doesn't have like the Caleb Williams where Caleb's coming in right away. And even the rumors come out with Caleb, like no one's teaching him how to watch film. No one's watching film with him. Like no one's helping him out. And they just had him doing his own thing. With JJ's like JJ's in a room with Kevin O'Connell. You're telling me Kevin O'Connell isn't going to be. So
but
like
Caleb
he's got a year in at watching
for a year. He knows
exactly. Okay, there's that side of things. But I do think there's 2 parts of being a quarterback in the NFL. One, it's the mindset and like the reading the plays and film and all of that and leading a team. And then I think it's 2, going out there and actually doing it. I think JJ's just had a year in on doing all that other stuff. He's essentially, Jeff, outside of the reps, he's been a back, like those quarterbacks that end up being franchise quarterbacks that you're like, hey, let them sit for a year and learn. He basically just had that without having to be the backup, right? Like he basically just had to be, he was just a backup for a year learning wise. And he just got all, like he was almost thrown into the fire last year if he didn't get hurt. He just sat for a whole year and learned under Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold. So that's why I think it's a little different than just calling him, hey, he's a rookie. I think he knows a lot already and he's very prepared. It was kind of like how Jordan Love just sat out for a couple of years. Like JJ just sat out for a year and learned for a whole season.
Bottom line says Denver knew their identity, had a great defense, were stout at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, had a great coach, a solid game manager, a quarterback. Vikings check all those boxes.
They have everything.
He's got to have a second type of year. That's basically what you're saying.
Hold on. You can't. No. We're talking accountability with Klotz about, hey, Chicago beating the Lions but being last in the division. You had the Minnesota Vikings offseason over the Lions and the Packers, and you said that they filled their team out and then they built that team and now their team's good to go outside of the quarterback, obviously.
Yes. Yep.
But you can't give them that much credit and be like they're last in the division.
Well, I don't know if they're last. Remember, I said I haven't announced it yet. But
you said there, you're like, I don't know why people have them at second or third.
I said my biggest gripe with the Vikings is I don't know if I'm high on JJ yet. I don't think I'm. I'm not. I gotta.
Thought I had you for a second there.
No, because it is a good point. Like, oh, you had him as. That's why I made sure to say, like, just because the Lions are below them doesn't mean they're not. They're better. They're still a better team. They just had a more eventful offseason. But yeah, the JJ is the biggest question. If to ball don't lie, is to his point. If he's Bo Nix. Bo Nix had like what 28 TDs, 12 picks, something like that. If he has that type of year, shit, they might win 10, 11 games. Shit, that's a good year. That's a really good year. If Vikings fans would be ecstatic with that. He has a Bo Nix type of year.
Yeah, I think honestly, I do think
Bo Nix, just to push back, Bo Nix. You can say what you want about Bo Nix. He played a lot.
Production in college, yeah.
Well, production, he played a lot and played for different systems and threw the ball a lot. He had a lot of reps. Like JJ didn't have to throw as much, even though he's talented. JJ is very talented. I'm not going to argue.
I'm interested to see what he does. I really am. I'm excited.
He's going to be in games where he's got to throw 30 times. You know what I mean? 35 times. So I want to see that. I got to see.
I'm actually. I know it's the Vikings, but I am excited to see what JJ does. I'm interested.
This division's. It's going to be fun.
Every game, it's going to be fun to watch, dude. Every single game. I can't wait for the NFL, man.
Hey, drop your questions, by the way. We got about 7 minutes left. Malik says, go look at the games Mullen started. He did not win any. Did he not win a game?
That's my no, I think he did win
remember,
games.
I thought
yeah. No, he definitely won games, dude.
I know that they didn't beat the Lions.
But they definitely won. Or it wasn't even just Nick Mullins. It was the Pasternak. What's his name? Came in.
Maybe Nick Mullins did. I mean, he was throwing for like 400 yards, though.
I just remember they went on that stretch from week 9 to, what was that, 2023. Let me go to 2023. From week 6 to 10, they won 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, he won the game.
6. Won 6 straight. I don't know if that was just him. That was Dobbs.
Yeah, that was.
Okay. You know what? I was wrong. Hand up. I'll say I was wrong.
The only
when
game
I'm wrong,
was the
3-0. Whoever said that, that's on me. I was wrong. Nick Mullins did not win any games.
That is tough. Nick Mullins, the only game they won was 3-0.
But to be fair, Jeff, his 5 starts that he had to start versus the Raiders where he threw for 83 yards and he won 3-0. Then the next week versus the Bengals, they went into overtime and he threw for over 300 yards and they lost by 3 in overtime by a field goal.
Shit ton of yards.
Yeah. Then his third start, they lost by 6 to the Lions. He threw for over 400 yards versus the Lions. The next week got blown out by the Packers. And then week 18 versus the Lions, lost by 10 points and threw for 400 yards again. But hand up, that's on me. I forgot about Dobbs.
I was with you. I didn't know.
Dobbs won like 6 straight games. That guy was out there, the Pasternak, slinging it, dude. I like him too.
Well, that should be your new argument then. Dobbs. If Dobbs,
yeah, it's the same conversation though. Who's more talented, Dobbs or JJ?
JJ McCarthy's more talented.
Okay, Dobbs is very, very smart though, dude. That dude, he's an astronaut.
Yeah, he is. Alexis Mailbag, which NFL team do you think surprises us in the best way possible next season? And which team do you think surprises us in the worst way possible?
That's actually such a good question. I think we should do this at some point as well, Jeff. Like lock it, an answer in. I'm going to pull this up real quick.
I could throw a couple names out, and then we'll do a segment where it's like the whole topic where we break.
I'm going through the divisions right now. I think the 49ers, I know they're already a team, but I think they win their division. I don't know if that's it. And the NFC South, I think the Panthers are pretty good, if I'm being honest.
I might. You know what? I'm debating. I have to talk to the council, maybe the Jeff Iafrate council. I might bring back the Jags take.
You know what? I'll if you want, I'll be on your board of trustees.
You'll be okay. I might run it back. We might bring back that's not confirmed. That's a rumor. I might bring back the Jags take.
If we went through each division, is there like the AFC East? The Patriots, I think, will be sneaky
I think the
good.
Cardinals could.
I don't know. I'm so in the middle on the Cardinals. I know Klotz is big on that. I'm just in the middle on them. I think the 49ers are going to get back to being themselves. Steelers, I don't know. I like the Jags.
The worst way possible, the Steelers.
Yeah, I agree.
I can see a scenario where the Steelers suck.
They don't get Aaron Rodgers. They're
like
done.
Bad. Like they win like 4 games, 5 games. I can see that. Because who are they going to? Mason Rudolph? They're like, yeah, their defense will keep them in some games, but
Saints.
The Saints, yeah, they're good. Well, they won't be a surprise. They'll just suck.
Yeah. Am I crazy for thinking the Panthers might be kind of decent this year?
No, the Panthers are a good one. Patriots, I see ball don't lie. You've been high on the
Patriots. I think Patriots, Panthers, Jags would be like the top of my list for like, hey, this is teams to watch out for.
I'm trying to think if there are any other teams. I mean, I'm trying to think of like an AFC team. Yeah, the Patriots, that's a good one.
Trying to look here. There's the AFC North. Bengals. Browns are going to be bad.
What about ball don't lie? Sleeper MVP candidate.
Let me pull up the. I want to see the odds if we're doing that.
Sleeper MVP candidate. You know what?
Oh, I have one that I do every year. I'm embarrassed to say it, to be honest.
I'll go. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. Is that the one you were going to say?
Yeah, dude. Every year I say it. Dude, I've said it for 3 straight years. I said it. Remember when you guys kept saying, or maybe it wasn't you, but Mike and Klotz kept saying the Caleb one. And bro, my hair is killing me today. I don't know if you noticed. It just kept coming up.
No,
I look like an eyebrow.
I like the Herbert one. If that's what you were going with, I like it.
Because 2 years ago when we were having the conversation and they were saying Caleb Williams, we were doing sleepers and they were like, Caleb Williams. Mine that year was Justin Herbert. And I picked Justin Herbert to win the MVP. We did MVP picks. I picked Justin Herbert 2 years ago. And then last year, I think I ended up going Josh Allen. I almost want to go back to, if we're doing sleeper, this isn't my MVP pick, but if we did sleeper, I think Justin Herbert's a good one.
Yeah.
Or even
they're going to win. They're going to have the games. He'll have the stats. I mean, he's got a run game now.
If they win that division over the Chiefs too, you have to be like, I almost want to say
up against the Chiefs.
They might. I almost want to say, is Jaden Daniels a sleeper?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think maybe not a sleeper. He's probably top 5 in odds, is he? If he's not, then you can say he's a sleeper. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 5. And Justin Herbert, he's plus 850. And then 6 is Justin Herbert, but it drops from plus 8. But it drops from plus 850 to plus 2,000. Like then
it's a huge drop.
CJ Stroud's a good one. I mean, I think that's a sleeper. CJ Stroud. Yeah. Hey, you know what though? I will say through the show is just. I mean, this is a Friday show. This is a Friday show. We're just live.
It was a fun show.
Chop it up with the people, man. You guys are amazing.
By the way,
go on.
Oh, no. What were you going to say? Because we might be saying the same. We might be in a good wavelength right now.
Go on.
We might be in. I was just saying to the people, I don't think we're going to be live Monday night for Memorial Day.
Yep.
So I think we're off Monday and we're back Tuesday. I might, and the people stand by and just keep an eye out on Monday. I might go live for like an hour Monday night. It just depends on how the day goes. I got a bunch of stuff to do. I know all the boys are doing stuff for Memorial Day.
Maybe we can go live. Jeff Iafrate show Monday morning. We'll go live together. Something like that.
Potentially, yeah. We could check it out. I don't know if I'll be available Sunday or Monday morning, but maybe like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
That's perfect. 9 to 10.
Okay, yeah, we'll text about it. Keep an eye out if you're the people. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, keep an eye out. We don't plan to have a show. We'll see how it happens. Memorial Day. Enjoy your weekend, guys. I appreciate it. You guys watching on a Friday night. It's massive. Have a safe weekend.
I'm going to try and golf 3 rounds this weekend.
Have a safe weekend. And if you guys have any Twitter or anything or Instagram, message Klotz and tell him he stinks and say, Jeff told me to tell you you stink. Everyone message him.
And tell him, say, Booner says that the Rams are going to lose the division.
Yeah. Go message Klotz, harass him. We have you. It's approved. Don't worry
all
about
approval.
It. Yep. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter. All right. Until next week, we will catch you all. Have a safe weekend.
Love you guys.
Peace.